All right, guys. Here we are. Red tides, not rising tides. Red tides. Although rising tides lift all boats. So this is session 0. We're going to start by having everybody getting on the boat, and then we'll see where it goes from there. Since the ship starts here in Calvine here. Actually, I should have went to the Sea of Tears. That's where I should have went. We're going to start over here in Camergal. So for those of you who are in Camergal, that will be, well, currently the ship is in Camergal, so that will be Rhux. Currently, Marcus and Hylough are working in Camergal, and Iylis has arrived there recently. And if you haven't read the background secret stuff that I sent you, you should really read it quickly because it's going to fit into what we're about to start doing.
Gotcha.
Okay, Iylis. For the last... so what we're going to do here for the first little bit, is get everybody onto the boat. So that means that those of you who are in Port Hope, and then we're going to go follow the boat as it goes from Camergal to Wensmar to Port Hope to Calastria. So... for those of you who are in Port Hope, hang on, listen in, enjoy yourselves for a bit as we get the people on in Camergal, we get some people on in Wensmar, and then we get to you guys in Port Hope. So don't worry, I haven't forgotten about you. It's just going to take me a little bit to get to you. All right, so starting off, Iylis, you have been running. In fact, for some reason, you just don't feel like you can remember not running anymore. But
it's been a while.
Have made it. Well, it's been a while. It's been maybe 4 or 5 days.
Maybe it's been a while. It feels like forever
since you fled your home, and you have made it through the swamps around here in Camergal. So you're kind of here in the swamps here. You look in as you came through. So your main city, the place you come from, actually, your travails, I should say, started over in here on the western coast, on the eastern coast of Calvine. You kind of fled around the south portion through these hills and have made it all the way here to Camergal. And it's been not great, not a fun time. It's much different. I mean, but let's be honest, for the last year or so or two, I don't know exactly how old your character is, for the last few years, your life has been not so great anyway, with all the attempts at exorcisms and, beatings and everything else that you've been going through to try to get rid of this curse that you have.
Indeed.
But now you have fled and you have made it here to Camergal. You remember from your fever vision, is what you're kind of considering it or calling it, that the woman had told you to seek out the blue turn. How are you going to go about seeking out the blue turn? As you get to Camergal, you kind of come into the
blue
city,
turn.
The blue turn. So the city itself is walled, and kind of on a bluff that overlooks the marsh down below. And then there's there's a top of the city, and then there's sort of a portion of the city that's down near the coast where the boats and things come in. You're coming along the side. You can either try to climb up the bluff, try to go up the river up the bluff, or the road up the bluff to the city proper, or you can follow more of a caravan route that takes you to the docks on the western side near the ocean, near the sea.
I see.
Which would you like to try to do? You have no clue where this might be, but that's what you're given, the blue turn.
Well, I mean, I'm thinking that it might be a name of something, so I might try around where I could go. I would assume that I'd try, I don't know, inns or something like that.
See what she
try
said
to find.
Exactly. Oh,
okay,
no, she
I'm
did say,
trying to figure out where.
She did say the Blue Turn Tavern is what she did say. So you do know it's a tavern.
Okay.
And she also mentioned that it was along the docks. I've noticed from what I wrote.
Okay, cool. Well, then I will just go along the docks then.
All right, so you head along the side of the bluff. There's some houses and stuff, and some shops and things that are down here on this side, on the south side. So think of the city proper on this bluff overlooking the marsh. There's sort of a boardwalk kind of caravan route that's along the edge of the marsh here that you kind of go along. Some basic shops. It's sort of shanty town is not the right word. It's definitely better than a shanty town, but clearly because of the marsh and how wet it is and all the sea breeze and all that sort of stuff, it's definitely a little worse for the wear. You come along that, you get around to the kind of the edge of the spit of the land as it goes out into the sea and come along the docks. You're now kind of moving along the docks, waterfront. You can see out in there into the sea. It's a nice sunny day. We'll probably say it's mid-afternoon, late afternoon. So you're kind of seeing the sun, the twin suns of Aethyr come down towards the horizon and heading towards the sea itself, getting down towards the edge of the sea. You are heading down the docks. What do you want to do? You down here on the docks, you can see that the buildings are kind of really put together kind of closely. It's kind of like a rat's maze, a warren nest of a maze of streets and things like that as you're going through. You're currently on the edge that's kind of going along the docks, but at some point you see up ahead there's a warehouse that's going to force you more into the city proper.
Well, I'm gonna keep trying to explore closer to the docks and kind of go up and down those streets.
Okay.
And
do you want to you as you're walking along, you see there's lots of dock workers.
Yeah, I might ask
several
somebody.
ships in the harbor itself. That sort of stuff.
Yeah, I might ask somebody
Right.
if I can.
Anybody
Stop
in
somebody.
particular?
Maybe one of the dock workers.
Right.
See
So
if they
there's
know.
a guy who's got a bundle of bags of sacks of something. He kind of walks by.
Oh, excuse me. Would you happen to know where the Blue Turn is? The Blue Turn Tavern?
What do I look like? A city guard? What? Blue Turn? Are you even old enough to drink, buddy?
Yeah, I am, but it's
All right. Jeez, you look new to the town. You look new to everything.
kind of.
You should head further north down the turn way, and you'll see it. You'll have to come in a little bit into the city. It's about, I don't know. If you go up turn way, you'll take a right. You'll then take a left, and then you'll take another right, and it'll be right there.
Okay, a right, a left, and then another right. Okay, I think I got
right.
that. Okay, and then that's after turn way.
Good luck.
Okay.
And he continues on his way.
All right, so I attempt to follow his directions.
Okay.
And
So you're not sure what street you're on. You just know you're on the dock side. But
I attempt to go up the street.
You go
He
up the
gestured
street.
towards.
In case you do for this warehouse, you take a right. You go for a little bit. You take the first left. You go for a little bit more, and then you take the next right. And sure enough, there's a sign right above you that looks to be kind of a blue-looking bird. It's a poor rendition if it is. But maybe it's the right thing.
Is that what a turn is?
Tern is a bird, maybe. You're not sure.
Mm.
You have lived near the coast, so yes, you've heard of what a tern is. A tern, though, is
that
more
what
of a
a
marsh
tern looks
waterfowl.
like?
You kind of look at it like, what are you doing?
So I go in.
Okay. You open the door and head into some soft music. Inside you can see what looks to be a tavern of decent size, maybe 30 feet by 40 feet, something like that. Over in one corner as you walk in, there is a man who looks a little bit like a young man, I would say. Looks a bit like... Give you a picture real quick. He looks a bit like this, playing a lute in the corner. A few people are listening to him, but most of the people in here look to be like either dock workers or maybe sailors. They're all kind of having lovely drinks. You kind of side of what do you do? I mean, that's what you kind of see. There is a bartender. He's I don't know. He's average height. Looks to be maybe late 30s. He's got sort of the beginnings of a balding forehead. Not much, like his hair is receding. He's a little rotund, but not overly so.
Very cool. I mean, I'll head up to the barkeep.
All right. You head up to him and he kind of looks at you and says, "Ah, yes, may I help you?"
Hi. I'm sorry, I'm not really used to this.
You could have fooled
Do
me.
you have a lot of wizards that come through here? You know, magic folk.
Do I have a lot of wizards that come through here?
Gotcha.
um, well, I have been known to dabble a little bit myself. Yes, I have. But wizards per se, we're a bit close to the Searly Kingdom for them. They tend to shy away from here.
Yeah. Me too. I'm trying
So,
to do that myself, but
just as an FYI for you, real quick, you are definitely out of the kingdom. So remember, we were looking here in the map here. The edge
mhm,
of this mountain range here is currently the current edge of the kingdom. So everything beyond this is free is usually is Diary kingdoms. So the Diary
gotcha.
shires are up here. This is a bunch of free cities that are all through in here. A lot of the forests are unclaimed because there are elves and things that tend to live in there and drive people out as much as they can. So just as an FYI. So you've been out of the Searly Kingdom for several days, but this is where you were told to go.
Gotcha.
Why are you seeking wizards, young man?
Well, I believe I have some arcane abilities, and I need someone to help me out a little bit
I
because
see.
I'm not very good at what I do.
Well, here, how about you have a seat? Give you a little bit of a drink. You look a little parched. You've been traveling long.
In a few days, yes.
He pulls down out a cup and water, I assume. He pulls up
That'll
a
be
jug
fine.
and dumps some water into it and slides it over to you and says, "Have a quick drink. Let me tend to some of my patrons here, and then we'll speak some more." um, Marcus, i.e. John, Chad, i.e. Hylough. You guys
Hello.
have you guys are in the blue turn this evening. You are spending your evening last evening before getting on the ship, the Maiden's Folly. Sarah was able to get you work on there. Um, Turns out that she had room for one ship hand, but 2 days the Maiden's Folly has been in dock for like 3 or 4 days, getting a lot of cargo. They tend to do cargo runs between Emerdol and Emerdol. And it turns out a couple nights back, one of their sailors was found dead in an alley. No one
Oh,
knows what happened other than his throat was slit. So she was able to get you on as well, Hylough, not just Marcus, but you as well.
wow.
So you guys are spending your last night here in the turn. Marcus is doing his normal evening playing of some songs, like he does, some rowdy ones, some nice ones, occasionally a story. You're sitting in there enjoying the atmosphere, occasionally drinking, and occasionally playing some knucklebones with a few people that you know here from some of the dock hands that are around. Currently, you're break even. You haven't lost any, but you haven't won any extra, which is your typical go. You find that most of your luck seems to be plus or minus about the same. So,
Yeah.
you guys, uh, Marcus, as you're playing, you notice the door open up and you see a kid walk in, and he looks like this. So he kind of looks like that.
I'm
As
about
he
mid
he
20s.
walks in, and
Older than
he
me.
looks a little bedraggled. He looks a little worse from there. This is really clean looking. He looks like he hasn't bathed in several days.
You.
He looks around a bit and then walks up to the bar and then starts speaking with the bartender. Now you know the bartender's name is Simeon. Simeon has been. You guys have known Simeon for Marcus for at least a year or more, and you Hylough for the last few weeks because you've been frequenting this particular tavern with
Mm-hmm.
Marcus. Um, he's usually a pretty nice guy, so you figure he's going to help this kid out, and then maybe later on you guys can fleece the kid for some money, or something like that. I don't know. I'm not going to try to put words in your mouth. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. But at least for now, he seems to be getting on with Simeon. What are you guys doing?
So I'm
Mm,
gonna play a more upbeat tune and kind of see how he reacts to see, something like your journey is just beginning. You'll be happy until you die. type thing. It always ends poorly at the end, but
Okay.
in the beginning it's
All
upbeat.
right. So,
I start wiggling my
yeah, I was
hair.
going to say, Iylis, you notice the music sort of changes a little bit. It was sort of a, I don't know, what you might be considered sort of a somber, not necessarily a dirge, but a somber song, and now it's become a little more upbeat. Looking around the tavern, Hylough and Marcus, it's the typical. So far tonight, it's been the typical clientele. I mean, the typical sailors and dock workers. I mean, some of the sailors you don't know because they're probably just in port with their ship. But I mean, you know they're sailors. You've either seen them while you're working on the docks today, or they just have that look. That being said, there's one person who's been sitting in the back since before you guys got there. Like you guys walked in and this guy was sitting there. He is wearing I gotta look at his guy again. He's wearing sort of a leathers, kind of got a short tattered cape on him. You can see that at one of his hips, you can see the hilt of some kind of bladed weapon. You're pretty sure. And it's held in the style that's in the city. Like they do a sort of a ceremonial knot so that, it takes a little bit to get it undone before you can use it. That's something that the city makes people do if you've got an open weapon. They don't have an open carry here. They don't have. They have to have a little bit of something on it. It's just guards try to keep that in check. He's an odd one. He is. He's got his hood up, but you can see that he's bald mostly on top. But you can see just a strip of hair kind of in the center of his forehead going towards the back. And he's been kind of nursing a drink. He's had a couple drinks, but he's been nursing one for the past 30, 40 minutes. And I would say, let me see here, passive perceptions from you guys. Passive perceptions. Hylough. Passive is not great. Marcus, your passive perception is better. Marcus, you happen to notice that when the young man comes in and starts talking at the bar, you see that guy sitting in the corner kind of slightly sit up a little bit more. It doesn't seem to really take an interest in him. He just sort of looks at him. You notice there is a perceptible change in the way he's sitting, the way he's moving. It's almost as if he's becoming a bit more ready for something.
Okay. I'm definitely gonna watch that. Does he look like maybe a bounty hunter style, or is he just
it's hard to say. I mean, you guys have seen adventurers come through here before. You've seen caravan guards. You've seen hunters come through before. He kind of looks like a mix between all of those guys. So it's really hard to say. He does look, well, definitely older than you guys are. A little more grizzled, a little more hardened, but so yeah, he definitely stands out in this place. But at the same time, you have seen that kind of person in this place before.
Okay. Well, I will switch into after this tune, more of a be alert. There.
Okay.
Hundreds in the mist.
All right. So
Gun type thing.
all right. Iylis, Simeon comes back. He finally says,
And this music is it has a lot of variety for sure.
yes. It's one of our local. It's the son of the local dockmaster. He comes here and plays every so often. He's very kind. He's a very kind man. I can introduce you to him later. But so you say you're looking for wizards. Is this correct?
Yeah,
Change
keep your
this
voice
guy's
down.
accent, I'm
It's
sorry.
keep your voice down. I'm not trying to draw a lot of attention. I don't know if anybody's after me, stuff like that.
Trying not to draw a lot of attention, sir. Boy, you stick out like a sore thumb.
Do I really?
Yes.
Where can I get better
Look
clothes?
around.
I don't know.
Do you see how the rest of us all dress and wear? You're Searly, my boy. You're way different than most of the people here.
What can I do about this?
Get different parrots? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
So why are you seeking these wizards?
Like I said before, I'm looking for someone who can teach me how to control what I do, because I'm having a lot of difficulties doing that right now, and I met a woman who had said to come here, and
Met a woman.
that
A name
might be. Does Hold on, I'm gonna switch over to the thing. Does a Phala ring any bells?
It's possible. It's possible. So at that point, you notice him. He kind of reaches down a little bit and pulls up a small a medallion that probably he had in his pocket, and he kind of picks it up, and then he kind of puts it in a way that it's between his eye and your hands, because you're like holding onto the glass, you're occasionally drinking from it, and he kind of looks at it a little bit, and you know, what's your passive perception? You're kind of
11, I think.
Okay, yeah, you don't necessarily notice anything, but he puts it away and he says, "Oh, you mean Fiala?"
Yeah. Well, I thought that's what I said.
I can understand. Her name is kind of difficult to pronounce, especially if you only.
She
hear
said
it
it once. I don't really remember what she said.
Fiala, she is a member of a guild that I know of, and he does exactly what I just said. He kind of almost says "our," but then stops and says "of a guild." And she tends to send people our way or this way. What's your name, boy?
Iylis.
You look like you have eyes to me, but I'm sure you hear that one all the time. No, I'm just trying to settle you down. I see. You must be, let me guess your story. Young, grew up normally, maybe minor noble family, maybe merchant family, maybe craftsman family, and maybe about 12, 13, 14, 15 at the latest, you started exhibiting some weird things. And then your family said, uh-oh, we can't have this. What have we done wrong? Why does Seer hate us so?
It sounds pretty familiar. Yeah.
Well, Iylis, my name is Simeon, and I will help you out. You've come to the right place. You've done the right thing. We can get you to a place that can help you hone your skills and make it so that those who would try to see what you have as a curse and make them see that really is a gift.
That's what I'm here to do, and that sounds great.
Let me go get something, and I will be back. And then he goes into the back. Marcus and Hylough, you guys watched him. You see Simeon go into the back. He's been talking to the kid. He goes into the back. At that point in time, you notice. At that point in time, both of you give me a perception check because you're kind of being perceptive now and kind of looking around and watching things.
Perception. Oh my goodness, what happened? Where'd I go?
Marcus, a 9.
Hold on.
Yeah, that sucked.
No. Well, you're playing, so it's all good.
Yeah.
My stuff was up here and now it's gone. I don't know what happened. Okay, here we go. All right. I am going to pop out. Ooh, pop out. And a perception.
Yes, perception, please. That's a lot of rolls.
Sorry. I did double click. It didn't do anything the first time I clicked it.
All right. So you got a 4. All right. You guys are looking around.
Lags a little.
You're kind of watching your thing. You see Simeon go in. You see Iylis kind of. I will say you see the kid at the table at the bar kind of. You see him. You see a clear slight relaxation in his shoulders, like he's been all tense the whole time, sipping his water every so often or whatever. You saw him drinking water, and then he kind of relaxes a little bit. The rest of the guys, I mean, you're still hearing the regular chatter of everything. At this point in time, Hylough, the guy you've been playing knuckle bones with, says, come on, it's your turn. Roll the bones. Make your bet, roll the bones.
Okay. Well, so I'll put down the small bet and roll my bones.
Okay, you put down a couple copper, and then give me 2d6. Roll 2d6. And at the same time, I will roll what his 2d6 was. All right. So he got double ones. You got a 3 and a 1. You actually win, so you get a couple copper.
Hey.
Thanks.
In his little diamonds. He's like, oh man, you seem to be getting some luck like tonight. you been? Let me check your bones. Come on, let me check your bones. I want to make sure you haven't been waiting
Weighted.
like you did a couple
Weighted
weeks back.
bones.
Hold out my arms and stuff. And
I don't want your little scrawny little arms. I will slap your ass into next week. Stop that, kid.
give him his.
Aren't you a human? Isn't Hylough a human?
Yeah,
I
he is.
am.
Yeah, he is.
I'll give you a.
He looks over. I'm assuming you showed him your bones. You're not.
Yeah.
He
Sure.
looks him over. He's like, "All right, I guess this time you're not cheating. Here you go."
This time, I never cheat. All right, so I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go over to the bar and see if the kid wants to get in on the game here.
Okay, go for it. I'm just here as a mediator.
Hey, Hylough.
Huh?
Hey, I'm Hylough.
Hey, Hylough.
So, Hylough.
What?
Hi, Hylough. So a guy comes up next to you, Iylis. He looks like. Give you this picture. He looks like this, and he says, "Hi, Hylough."
I'm Hylough.
Huh?
Yes, it's very confusing in your current state, I must admit.
I just
Come on.
give him a nervous glance.
You want to get in on a game over here? You look like you're new in town.
I will say to you, Iylis,
Mhm.
Hylough, you're very sure Hylough is full-blooded Seerly. He's got the same kind of cheekbones, the same kind of style that you're used to seeing from where you grew up.
Yeah.
So he's definitely different from the rest of the people around.
Yeah.
And
But
I
I'm
would
well
also
tanned.
suggest that, remember, yeah, he's definitely more tan than a typical Seerly would be.
He is very tan.
And I would remind you that most of the Seerly you've been around for the last 4 or 5 years have been trying to beat the curse out of you. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
just
Um,
reminding you of that.
this guy's a little too Aryan for me.
Okay, fair enough.
No.
That's one way of looking at it.
All right.
No.
So is that a no?
I'm gonna. What kind of game are you?
We're just playing this knucklebones game over here. Just need a couple of copper to get in on the action.
I'm a little short on cash.
How about I front you a little bit? I'll front you a couple of copper.
Sure.
See how you go.
You know what? Why not? I guess. I'll slowly make my way over
Okay.
to.
You head over to the table with he's there with 2 other guys, and the 2 other guys clearly, I mean, they have the same kind of look as the dock worker you talked to before you got here.
I'm
And,
effectively making a perception check at any point.
yeah, no, you can.
That I can.
As you're looking around as you head over there. You can give me a perception
Yeah.
check. That's fine. Go
All
for it.
right. Give me just a second.
Click one.
Cool.
13. So looking around the room as you kind of head on over there, you notice the guy strumming the lute still. He hasn't changed his tune in a little bit. As your eyes glance over him, I'm going to take a little bit of leeway with your character, John.
Sure.
You notice as he's strumming, he kind of does this. He kind of nods kind of moves his head a little bit in time with the music. And for a bit you're like, huh? Well, he's got a nervous tick. But then you kind of follow where his head is kind of nodding towards, and you happen to go past a guy who kind of looks like this. I'm going to show you a picture now. You guys are getting a much better look at him this time. So, artwork, no players. So this is a guy your eyes go
Man.
past.
How did he get his eyes like that?
You're not sure. And he's got a little bit of a hood on, not different from this picture.
Contact lenses.
And the thing here is, yes, you will notice the red eyes, but when you first look at him, his eyes are dark. But he kind of then glances in your direction, and his eyes kind of catch a little bit of the fire from the fireplace, and that's when they kind of look this little reddish glow to them before they drop back into more of a darker color. Your eyes pass over him. He doesn't seem to give you a second glance. And you get to the table. I mean, the rest of the bars, like I said, dock workers, and you would assume sailors. They kind of look like they're, that rolling gate kind of thing. You get to the thing, and the guy says, Hylough, you're bringing some new meat. My name's Clef, and you are
Iylis.
Iylis.
Nice to meet you.
Good to meet you, Iylis. Over here is our buddy Rat, and you notice that sitting next to them is a kid he's a kid, like he's maybe 10,
Buddy
12,
Rat.
12 or something like that, and he goes, "Hey, yeah, I'm Rat.
Nice to meet you, Rat. I'm
Yeah.
Iylis.
They let me sit around here. They even let me drink occasionally. They should let
I'll
me drink
let you
more
drink.
Make some milk.
He's like, hey, I'll drink some milk. It's my turn for the bones. Here's my 2 copper. Let's go. Who's gonna bet me? So he puts out his 2 copper and he rolls his
I'll
bones.
go up against Rat.
And he gets that. He's got a 3 and a 2.
So
the bet is 2 copper, and then you roll 2d6. In essence, you're rolling two knuckle bones. You're not basically, which are 2 d6s.
Yeah.
So you want to get on it?
Yeah, I'll get in on it.
All right.
And more than one person can go in. Like it's whoever has got the highest 2 rolls takes the pot.
I'm going to let him just do it. Just watch.
All right. So yeah, you ante up your 2 copper, but you get your 6 and 4, and then Clef says, yeah, this is too rich. Those numbers are too high for me. Go ahead, take your winnings, kid. You got 4 copper now. You had 2, you got 4.
I give Hylough back his 2, and I
Thanks.
say, can I keep these other 2?
Absolutely. You're new in town. I'm not that old in town either, but
You've been here for about a month or so.
Yeah.
So you guys kind of sink into sort of that a little bit of gaming for a bit. After maybe about 10-15 minutes, a girl kind of taps you on the shoulder, Iylis, and says, Simeon would like to speak with you if you have a moment.
Excellent.
Popular already.
And then she kind of leans in. You guys want any more drinks?
Yeah, I'll take some.
All right. Same thing as before.
What's that?
Oh, she's asking.
You want me to?
Same thing as before.
What is it? What did I get before?
I don't know what you got before.
Yeah. Do my usual.
Clearly, she's the barmaid, so she knows what you had before. So she heads in the back and starts getting up drinks. Iylis, what do you want to do?
I am going to get up and find Simeon. Where is he?
He's back at the bar.
Okay, I will go up to him.
Over there. Marcus, you've reached the end of another song. Do you wish to continue?
I'll actually take a break and
Okay.
go get a beer, wander the room. If anybody wants to give me gold, that'd be cool.
All right. All right. So you head on over. You start doing that, and Iylis, you get up to the bar, and Simeon hands you. Simeon's got there. He's got his hands on the bar, and he says, "All right. So this is what you need to do. The best place to get to is as far away from here as possible, or at least as far away from the kingdom as possible. And that leaves only one of 2 places. You could go all the way up to the north in the icy wastes of Verdure. I don't think your kind would probably survive very well there. You look a little too frail to me. Or we can send you all the way to the west, to Emerdol, where the dwarves and a friend of mine lives. He's a man named Cadmus. Cadmus is a wizard. The kind of thing you're looking for.
Yeah. That is the thing I'm looking for.
He lives on Emerdol and helps the dwarves enchant some of their items. You can
Do I
find
know where
him.
Emerdol is?
You grew up. Let me think. Let me look at your
My grow rate.
No, not your grow rate, but who you're. I'm trying to remember what I gave your parents as what level or what. Okay. Because as part of your education growing up, you got a pretty decent what's what I'm looking for, education and geography and things like that. And so you know that Emerdol is all the way over here. It's all the way over here on,
Sick.
right over in here.
Gotcha.
Just like you
That's
also.
a while away.
Yeah. So I mean, it's probably a good 10-day voyage by ship. Because you're kind of going. Yeah, it depends. It depends on the winds, honestly.
And if we stop anywhere along
And if you
the
stop
way.
anywhere along the way. He says, I happen to know of a ship that's heading there. They're leaving tomorrow. In fact, I think you were talking to one of their sailors just a little bit ago. Rat?
Yeah, I'm good buddies with Rat.
I see. Well, he is a crewman of the Maiden's Folly. And they are, he kind of points, he gestures off to the door and he says, they're on the far, they're on pier number 3 on the far, as you head out, take a, gotta remember, I gotta look at my map. No, I gotta look at my map, that's all.
A left to the right and another left.
No. When you head out, you're gonna come, back to the docks. Go back the way you came. You come back to the docks. And you'll be able to see it from there. You'll be able to see the pier from there. You should be able to get to it from here. So I would, he then lifts up his hand and pushes something to you. And when you get there, it's like a small medallion. And on the medallion, there's there is in essence, for lack of a better term, a rune of some sort. You're not sure what the rune is.
Similar to the rune that's on my hand?
No, it's not. It is a different one.
Okay.
And he says, take this, show it to the first mate of the Maiden's Folly. He will let you on. And he will take you to Emerdol.
Who's the first mate?
Oh, you'll know when you see him. He's a tall man. Slightly green skin. Hard to miss.
Gotcha.
Slightly green. Maybe because he's seasick all the time.
Good luck. And then he
Thank you
goes
so
back
much.
to doing what he was doing. He just nods at your thanks and continues doing what he was doing.
Cool, I
And
go
basically
back-
starts treating you and ignoring you just like he does everybody else.
Yeah, I order a beer because I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable.
Okay. Right, the
And-
2 copper you won is now spent.
Yes, there we go.
You're kind of getting that when the bard that was singing or playing a song comes up to the bar.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
Hello.
So, nod at you. New in town?
I am.
Olden Town.
Olden Town?
Well, you may have some company. Hold on, Peter, this is John asking. Was the guy with the red eyes, was that the guy who I spotted?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the same guy.
Okay. So, is that a friend of yours? Kind of motioning over my shoulder and not looking at him, but
I don't recognize him, no.
Give me another perception check now. Now both of you can do it. I mean,
Okay.
because you've seen him once. Now you have an idea that he might be interested. So, time to take another look. Wow. Okay. Marcus is just not having the best evening. But, Iylis, you happen to notice something particular about the man. And I'm going to show you the artwork again because it's very clear. You happen to notice this.
What,
what the
his
heck is
mohawk?
No, this right here. Oh, wow, that's weird.
it's
Sorry.
behind
I can't. It's behind the thing, so I got to move. There we go. It's behind the thing. So you happen to notice the 2 kind of golden lion things. He has a torque of some sort around his throat,
Oh, yeah.
and you recognize that torque, and you go cold.
Oh. What is it?
So you've heard rumors. You've heard rumors that the Church of Seer, the Chosen of Seer, have taken to being more, how shall I say it, clandestine in their attempts to capture and kill wizards and sorcerers before you left. And that there is a new kind of hidden order that is now roaming outside of the kingdom, and they are known for their lion's head torque.
I see. Do they
And
also have
you
like
hear- you've heard some
lightsabers
of the-
they can
No,
fly
you've heard some
away?
rumors that like they can stop wizards from casting spells. They
Oh.
they seem to be not magic doesn't seem to work on them very well.
Yikes.
I mean they can disappear and reappear at will. They just all these crazy fanciful stuff. So how much of it's true or not, you're not sure. But this is the first time you've seen this torque, and if even half of what they say about them is true, that's why you go cold. You're basically frozen a little bit with fear right now. Maybe a little bit of pee comes out.
Well,
I need to get out of here.
you may not know him, but he's definitely interested in you, and probably not for good. But fortunately for you, I may know of a place that you can hide for an hour or two, maybe to throw him off your trail if you can get out of this bar alive. That is.
He hasn't made any moves or anything. Every time you've kind of noticed him, he's just been kind of observing, and the guy has been pretty good. Like it's only because of who you are and what you do and how you know the people in this bar because you've been here so often. That's the only reason why you've noticed that he's taken an interest in this kid.
Ah.
Like a lot of his body language and stuff is still relatively just drinking my beer, doing my stuff. But because he stands out a bit, you've been tracking him pretty much the whole night because he stands out. And so you've gotten used to what his mannerisms are. So that's how you noticed the shift. That's how you noticed the occasional furtive glances. But most people would not have noticed him at all.
So, what's the worth for you to get out of this place?
What did you say?
What's it worth to you to get out of here?
A lot.
A lot being
3 copper.
What do I have on me?
I don't know. I think you still have 5 gold, 10 gold.
Okay. I mean, I could give you a gold piece.
All
you
right,
could, or I could just take it after your body, throw him in the cold. He takes you wherever. I mean,
Oh, I'm sorry. What do you want? Are you shaking me down here, man? Or should I worry about you or him?
How
just
hold on.
noticed
How loud
you
is this? How loud is your conversation getting, Iylis?
no,
I'm trying to keep it hush
Okay,
hush.
I'm just asking. I'm just asking. Yeah, so you guys are still talking. Hylough.
I'm just gonna wander up to the bar and say,
Okay, you wander up.
I'm gonna
Marcus is talking
kind
to
of-
Iylis.
trying to joke into Marcus. Are you shaking my guy? Are you messing with my guy here? He's my pal now.
taking another stray.
Don't give him a hard time now. You know.
I am merely giving him advice and opportunity. Everyone needs opportunity in the world.
Opportunity to give you money. I mean, that's what it
Sibian
sounds
kind
like.
of turns around and says, "Seriously, all 3 of you here? What is?"
So
He kind of looks at you, Marcus, and says, "Stop bringing attention to him. This is not.
So
this is
I'll
not
go.
for you."
see you around, and I click at him, and I'm giving him bardic inspiration,
Okay.
and
So-
then I'll go back to playing music.
Okay. So
You
you
go,
turn around.
"Dun-dun."
You turn around and start heading back. You notice
Yeah.
the guy is gone. He left. He's not there.
Okay.
And you kind of look real quick, and you see that the door is just kind of swinging shut in the tavern. So he probably just left.
I'm gonna wait a little bit, and then probably like an hour or so, and then leave.
Okay, you're gonna wait an hour. That's a little bit.
Yeah.
All right. So Hylough, you hear from Clef. Get back here, Hylough. I'm still down 4 copper. I need that money back. Otherwise, the missus is gonna kick my ass.
So I pat Iylis on the back. Say, let me know if you need anything. I'll be over here. So
All right. What do you guys do?
I'll continue to play and make money.
So you're playing.
Not
Hylough, I'm
much,
assuming
by
you're
the
playing
way.
Knuckle Bones.
yeah, I'll just keep going.
Iylis,
My bets are going down
Right.
lower and lower as the time goes
Yeah.
by.
So you start, Iylis. You sit there and drink that beer, nurse that beer for the better part of an hour.
Yeah.
And then what?
And then I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna go over to Hylough.
Okay.
And I'm gonna say,
Rat says, "Hey, look, it's that guy."
"Do you guys really have a place where I could hang low for a little bit
So remember, Simeon
you
told
guys...
you. Hold on. Remember, Simeon told you that Rat was a crew member of the Maiden's Folly. That's where you're supposed to.
Okay, so maybe I should talk to Rat.
You should talk to Rat.
Yeah. Then I will address Rat.
Okay.
Hello, Rat.
Yeah, that's my name.
So I was told by Simeon that you guys might have a spot on the Maiden's Folly that I could
Oh, well, sure. We
potentially
always
join you.
We take lots of travelers. You should talk to Barsk. He's the one that does all the stuff.
Oh, which one's Barsh?
Oh, tall guy, green-skinned, big teeth.
Is he on the boat right now?
Probably. I think he's night watch this evening. Yeah, probably. I can take you to him if you want.
That would be excellent.
Hold on. Let me finish this roll, though. I'm going to take Clef for all that he's worth. You see him put down a full 2 silver pieces, and then he rolls the bones.
Oh, no.
And Clef looks at him and he says, all right, I'm doing it. He puts down the 3 silver pieces as well, and then rolls the bones.
Ooh, it's a tie. Or no, it's not.
No, it's not. And Clef, Clef goes, you see Clef, no, there's no, he's like, there's no voice, no sound coming out. You can see his jaws dropped a little bit. He's like, I won. I beat that little turd. Yeah! He jumps up and he picks up Rat and he swings him around and he hugs him and he kisses him and he sits him down and says, "Thank you for letting me have your money." And he takes all the silver and he says, "I'm out. Have a good evening, guys." And he heads out the door.
Oh, well.
Oh, well. That's unfortunate.
And Rat's like, well, I wonder how much fun he's going to have when he finds out that silver's counterfeit. Let's go.
Okay.
You can counterfeit silver?
Yeah. Just here, he pulls out a thing. He says, "Counterfeit one." He puts it in your hand. And he takes another one out and he puts it in your other hand. And he says, "Not counterfeit one." And you wait and you feel them. And one is definitely not as heavy as the other one.
What'd you make?
It's somewhat close, but it's not exactly the same. No. It's just silver-plated bronze.
Ah. I bite it.
Yeah, you bite it, and you after you bite it, a little bit of it comes off, and you can see there's sort of a tarnished kind of bronzy color underneath.
Yeah. Very interesting. I hand it back.
All right. He's like, "All right, let's go, mister. What was your name again?"
Iylis.
Iylis. Okay. I'm Rat. Everybody calls me Rat. And you'll see why if you join us on the ship for a bit. And so he starts heading out the door. You follow him?
Yes.
What about the other 2 guys? What about Hylough and Marcus? Marcus, you're still
So, well, the evening's over since there's no more betting going on.
Well, I mean, the evening's not over. You can always wait for more sailors and doctors to come.
Nah, I'm done. I don't want to mess with them. I'll go on with them.
All right. Hylough heads out too.
So I'm curious about what that guy was about. So I'm gonna
So Marcus, they leave. What do you do at that point?
So finish up the set, get paid, and kind of stealthily go after them, see what I can find.
Okay. So you guys head on out. And I'm going to activate this. This is sort of the city as you come out. I will add you guys to it. Give me a moment. Let's see here. Aaron, I'm going to put you over here. You're not going to get to see anything. Actually, maybe I can make you guys see something. Let me see something real quick. Just a second. All players can be observers. Save changes. Okay. So let me kill Aaron from this. And let me add...
Rip Aaron.
Iylis. You come out here. Along with the NPC by the name
It's like
of
Roller
Rat.
Coaster Tycoon.
And then Hylough, you come out as well. Let me...
I want to ride the roller coaster.
So I mean, I was trying to figure out ways to do this so that you could see the buildings and stuff as well. And I do have a version of it like that, but it just didn't work quite right. It didn't feel right. So assume that these are buildings. They are buildings with shops and things like that. So you guys come out, and Rat starts heading down the way. You guys should be able to follow him all you want. And he comes on out. Hylough, you have your thing as well. And gets to about here. I'll wait for you guys to catch up. He starts walking down. He's talking the whole time. He's like, yeah.
I click on mine, but it doesn't move. I'm sorry. I'm not sure.
Just
Can drag.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm clicking on the guy and not on the.
Yeah, you got to click on the square.
On the
base.
square.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So,
flat.
you guys get to it. He's talking about, yeah, we're heading out with the high tide tomorrow. Or bright and early, like 6 a.m. or something like that. Yeah. So let's see if we can get you there. So he gets you, continues on, follows you. Let's see here. Marcus comes out, and then we'll have Marcus give me a. Can everybody else see them? As long as they don't select them. And I'm talking like Andrew or Brian. Can you guys see what's going on?
I can see what's going on, yeah.
Okay, just making sure. I want to make sure you guys can see. All right, so you guys get about to there, and then he's been talking about what's going on. He's kind of a chatty little kid.
I like him already.
And you see a person step out in front of you in the thing. Now, I will make sure that she... Well, this woman turns around, comes out in front of you guys at the end of this street. And Rat he continues walking down. He just pays never no mind. Give me a perception check, Iylis and Hylough.
Okay.
Rat doesn't care. He's just continuing. So, Iylis and Hylough, they'll give me a perception check.
Where's my character?
See if you notice anything about this person.
I did okay on the second, the advantage roll.
I did not do all right.
Yeah, so you guys are not really paying much attention.
Yeah,
but Rat gets up to about here, and he's noticed that this woman hasn't, like, he's been standing there the whole time. He's like, "Hey, who are you? What do you want?" Marcus, are you back yet?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, so you came out. Give me a stealth roll.
Okay.
Said you're gonna try to stealth.
Yep, and I am. For some reason, it didn't save my spells, so I got to drag them back. So I rolled.
Okay, there you go. Where are you heading to? So let's give you a chance to.
I'm kind of just following around the corner.
You know the way to get to where he's talking about. So I mean,
yeah,
it's not like you have to see them.
Yeah, I'm. Are those walls?
Yeah.
Actually.
Well, try to go through it. See, watch. You can't go through it. And there's walls there.
Okay. So I'll kind of just stay back.
Well, let me know where you want to go to.
The attempted token movement.
So I'm gonna go.
One wall.
Yep.
Can I still hear them?
Can you still hear them? No, they're around the corner.
I'll peek around the corner, kind of walking.
All right. Well, put yourself up to the corner, and then we'll.
I'll go like there.
Yep, that's fine. So you look around the corner, and you see them down the corner way. You see a woman, or you think it's a woman. From this distance, you're what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 12. You see a figure in a cloak. It is dark out. Down the end. Kind of. There are some sort of street oil lamp kind of things, but she's kind of standing not near one. Like there isn't one on this corner. In fact, you remember this evening that there should be one there. And you're unsure why there isn't one there. At the same time, let me make a roll.
How did she do that?
I mean, it's just an oil lamp.
You had time because someone waited an hour.
Yeah, there is that.
Well, okay, so I was just making sure.
I just did the same thing you did, Chet. All right, so let me get the first one. So you happen to notice the other guy, Marcus, is right there. You should be able to just see him. if you look
Okay. Yeah, I
back
can
towards
see
the
it.
other way.
I'll
So
kind of slink back if I can. Type.
yeah, let me do a real quick check on his perception, although he wasn't really looking. Give me one moment. His data, his perception is yeah. No, he doesn't seem to notice you. And you notice. All right. So at this point, we're going to go into initiative roll or initiative order. So everybody who's in this particular thing, let me pull you into combat, and we will get you going on initiative.
Can you add spells in your pop-up? I guess you can't.
Yeah, I was trying to do that a while back, but
I thought
No,
I
you
had
just
it.
have to prepare them.
oh, they have to be prepared.
Yeah, they have to be prepared. It doesn't show up otherwise. Even though you're a sorcerer and you don't really do that,
Ding
just prepare them
dong.
all. That's all. That's all you have to do is just prepare them all. All right.
That's why.
There's
Wait,
those
hold
two.
on.
Oh, and let me
I'll be
roll
right
that.
back again. But
Iylis, we're waiting on your initiative.
Oh, my bad.
It's all good.
Oh, it was almost on a 13.
All good. All right, so here we go. We're going to begin combat. All right. So Rat continues, and he gets up to about here, and he notices the woman. He says, "Hey," or he notices the person. And he says, "Hey, lady, get out of my way." So it's clearly a woman, and she doesn't move, and that's all he does. So Marcus is up, and he just left.
Did a big BRB. Let me get some water.
Let me get a drink real quick.
Marcus, just stay stealthy.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay. Anything else you want to do there? Nothing else? All right. Iylis, you're up.
I'm gonna take a step forward.
Okay, give me a perception check as you move forward.
Yeah.
Because now you're noticing the person. It's not just a normal person, clearly.
So many PCs in the PC folder.
But you can always double click on your character, and that should bring up your thing.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
mean,
that's cool.
Your token in the scene.
I see.
That's what I meant. Okay. With that roll, you notice.
Nice.
You also see the following. In this case, I do actually have to go in here. So you notice that she looks like this. She hasn't raised the crossbow yet, but you also
Don't
notice.
shoot.
You also notice. You just barely notice that she also might have one of those torques
Uh-oh.
with that 16.
Uh-oh.
So you've moved one. You still have a movement. You still have an action. What do you want to do?
Can I
You only moved one square, so you still have
Yeah.
5 squares left. And if you wanted to dash, you have a grand total of 11 squares left.
well, is
you could do
it
something
possible
else.
that with that 16 I can turn around and see that other guy? know that
I
he's
don't know. You haven't turned
there.
around. If you were to turn around,
Yeah, I want to turn around. I want to turn around.
So you
And-
turn around and you let's see here. It's dark.
See here, I'll do the thing.
No, that's fine. No, you can't actually see him. It's a bit dark here in the alley, and you're even with the kind of the dim vision of stuff. You can only really. I really should have set vision on this thing correctly, which I did not, and I'm sorry. That is my fault. Technically, you should only. Oh, I know why you can see it, and you shouldn't be able to because I didn't do this. No, I don't want to do that. I didn't do this. Make it dark. So,
Want to sleep.
yep, it's now
I can
dark.
still see him, but
Yeah, but I mean, so
No, it's
there's a
darker.
light here, and there's. It should be on. I don't know why it's not on.
Hylough, I think something's going down.
Really?
Yeah.
It's possible. So there's a light there in that corner that you can see, Marcus. But most of the you know that there's supposed to be a light right kind of up where they're at, but currently you don't see that light. And I would say you can sort of see things, but you shouldn't really be able to see him there because of. In fact, we'll do this. Reset the fog. Fog of war. Oops.
Okay.
Can I ready an action for like
Still
if
shouldn't be able
she
to see him. God damn
if
it,
she
why did I do
draws a weapon?
that? Yeah, you can ready action if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm already in action for
Run
if she
away.
draws a weapon. I'm going to hit her with that ray of frost.
Okay. All right. All right. So it is now. Second.
There you go.
Okay, I say, Rat, let's just move on. Just go around her.
You're gonna go to there. All right.
I think I can get to. Yeah, I'm gonna go to here. I say, Rat, come on, let's go on.
Okay. You can see there's a torch over here.
And what am I noticing as I go by her? Do I need to roll something?
No, you don't have to roll anything.
I go by.
Okay. Yeah, she doesn't seem to do anything. All right,
And
fixing
I'm-
some lights.
Turning around as I go by so I can see her.
Okay.
See what's going on.
Sure. You get to there. He doesn't do anything. Anything else?
No, I'm just no. That's all.
Is she looking at me?
Oh yeah, she's looking in your direction. Yes.
Okay.
She hasn't said anything though.
I see. It's not her turn though.
No, it is not her turn. Let's see here, Marcus. Why is no? Because I did this guy. Didn't give him vision.
Oh, it looks like the hunter is standing on Hylough.
Yeah, just the way things work. All right, so oops. All right, so 2, 3, 4, 5. Marcus, you see him go by. 6. And as he's going by, he pulls out a bow.
Okay.
Pulls out a bow and he fires an arrow.
Well, when he starts to move the fire, say, hey, not in the city.
Too late.
No fighting in the city.
He fires a bow.
But that should give him at least AC bonus. I'm not surprised.
No, he knew he was back there anyway. But he misses anyway. So,
Good.
Iylis, you an arrow sinks deep into the wall next to you. And you hear the telltale sign of a twang of a bowstring back behind you. Back from where the other guy was. He didn't say if he did anything, so unfortunately.
He drops his bow.
Keep on away. And that's all that guy does. This one, however, she pulls up a crossbow. What are you doing, Iylis? You said you wanted to do something if she pulled something up. And you may be muted, or you may be gone. I'm not sure which.
Didn't he say he was going to get some water?
I'm here. Are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to Iylis. Iylis had readied an action.
That's what I thought.
Or when the girl in front of him did something.
Oh well.
She's doing something. She's pulling up a crossbow to fire at him.
I'm fairly certain he said he was going to ray of froster.
Right, but
Yeah, that's what he said.
I need nice feedback. so he can do it.
So you might change it. Depending
I
on
am back.
Yeah. So the girl raises up a crossbow to shoot at you. What are you doing?
Okay, I'm gonna do my Ray of Frost.
Mhm.
Uh,
So far,
That.
neither of these guys have said anything, so just as an FYI. All right, roll your attack.
normal.
That hits.
Get dunked on, kid.
For 3 points. Wow, that was a lot.
I mean, it is level 1. I hope she's level 1 too.
Isn't that a cantrip? I believe it's
She's
a cantrip.
actually level 20.
That is a cantrip.
Yeah, so. All right, so you hit her with that ray of frost. And sure, speed is going to be reduced by 10 feet. However, in retaliation, as you kind of come up and you, from the end of your staff, the quarterstaff that you've kind of been walking with, I think you had a quarterstaff, right?
Yeah.
This beam of, you guys watch as this beam of bluish icy energy flies out and hits the girl on her side, and you can see it leave sort of a hoarfrost, like you would see in the morning on a super cold morning across her arm, and you can see her, and then she pulls the trigger on her crossbow. Iylis, I believe an 18 hits you.
Yeah.
Wow, that was a good shot. You take 8 points of damage in one shot.
She took me down
Yes.
in one
No,
shot.
she did not. Remember, you
Wait,
have an
no, I
extra
have
5.
13.
Yes,
I have
you an
13.
extra 5 hit points. So you have more hit points than you think. But no, she hits, and that's a pretty nasty hit. So you see that thing, and she releases the crossbow bolt, and it just right into your shoulder. And you kind of look down, and this crossbow bolt is embedded in your left shoulder.
Ow.
And if it had been maybe 3 or 4 inches lower and to the left, it would have been right through your heart.
Ow.
All right, end of the first round.
Ow.
Rat's like, what the
He's
heck's
after
going on
me.
here? What the heck is going on? And he's like, don't hurt my friend. And he comes up and he pulls out a dagger and he pops this girl with his well, I guess he's got a short sword. So he pops this girl with a short sword. And he misses rather hard. She kind of deftly steps to the side as he kind of swings forward with the sword. But he misses, unfortunately. Marcus.
So Marcus, killing in the city streets, alarm, alarm.
You know
Pulls
that
out
on
my
the docks
crossbow.
at this time, there's hardly any. The guard time is 5 minutes.
They may not know that.
Yeah.
And
No, I'm just
pulls
saying
out
you
my
know that.
crossbow.
I'm just saying you know that the guard time at night after dark is not great in the docks.
I'm just not used to actually being able to call the guard for me. Usually it's the other way around.
No, that's fine. You start
So-
shouting for the guard. What else are you doing?
Let's see. I'm gonna go
And
ahead
the, and the guy in front of you turns and looks at you, and he looks a little shocked, like he didn't know you were there.
Oh, great! I thought he knew I was there. Anyway, I'm
he
gonna
didn't
pull out
know
my
you were there.
crossbow and back away, and I'm gonna do True Strike.
So
Okay.
you're doing which thing? What did you say again? Sorry.
True Strike. I'm like pointing when I'm hollering at him, saying, and pointing, guard the violence,
Okay.
and it gives me advantage if I shoot at him next round.
Okay, so you cast Two Strike. Got it?
And
Were
then
you
I will
moving or
back away.
anything? What were you doing?
They're just backing away.
I can't go. I go through a wall. Let's see. Hold on.
No, you could go
I'll
through
move
there.
myself.
You're not going through a wall. Guys, control. Click on your guy. You can do whatever you want. You can have
Okay,
it go to the
I'm going
thing.
that way. I'm moving down that corridor.
Okay. All right. All right. So that takes us to Iylis. Iylis, your shoulder really hurts. And
Yeah.
you see blood kind of not pouring out, but dripping off there and soaking up your shirt top there.
Jeez. How dare they?
What are you doing?
Um,
And you also
Well-
know you can't survive another hit like that.
I'm going and casting magic missile
Okay. At whom? That one?
at her. Yeah.
Okay. You cast magic missile at her.
Oh, hold on. I gotta say that I have spell slots. And then I gotta roll the extra dice.
Yeah. 3 plus 2 more. 4 plus 2, and that was already 1d4 plus 1. Yes, it was. So
Yes.
you do 11 points to her.
Let's go.
These guys, this guy, you watch the kid throw this icy ray out of his staff, and now he slams the staff into the ground, and his eyes flash a little bit, just very slightly, but in the dark. Like if it was light out, you wouldn't have noticed it, but because it's in the dark, you can see it. It's sort of a bluish flash, and these blue glowing kind of ice daggers come flying out of his staff and streak in and strike into the chest of the woman. And you see her kind of take a step back and drop to her knee briefly. And the crossbow clatters to the ground.
I've disarmed her. Let's go.
All right. Anything else? You still have a move if you would like. And you do know that there's a guy behind you because the arrow came from behind you.
Yikes. Okay. I'm just gonna hang out here.
Okay. No, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Right. Hylough, you're up. Your newfound friend is being attacked by these people.
But she's disarmed, right?
Well, she's dropped her crossbow. Doesn't mean clearly she might have other weapons. Just saying she's dropped her crossbow.
Well,
but she's on her knee.
I ain't messing around here. It's a 12 hit.
I gotta check. It's close. I know that. No, it does not.
Oh.
Your sword. You throw out your
it.
sword and swing it at her, and you hit her across her back. But you feel it hit some kind of. You hear it hit some metal bits. You think maybe she's got some kind of studded leather armor on or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And so it hits up against those rivets.
So Hylough didn't. I mean, Iylis didn't move.
He
didn't
did not run away. He didn't do anything. He's cast a couple spells.
Okay.
All right, where can I run? I can't.
You can run by, pass it to me. Here, I got you. I got you
That's
covered over
true.
here. So I move around her like this.
Okay, that's fine.
I couldn't really see that there was area over there.
I mean, you can see him now because he's within your dim range, but before you couldn't have. Like, you don't even see Marcus in the back, even though you heard him shout. All right, so this guy, can't quite close. 1, 2, 3, 4. He gets to there, and he fires another bow at you, another arrow at you.
Cool.
Uncool.
Uncool.
No.
Hold on. Why did it do... Oh, that's why.
Two crits.
It was a
Two
double
crits.
Crit. I can't believe I've seen...
I hate
Holy
myself.
cow.
These guys are way
Holy
too
shit.
good.
Holy shit. Well, what do you want from me? Double crit? It's not like I'm hiding the roll.
Is he like gonna die instantly?
These guys are trained assassins.
Technically, Iylis should be completely dead.
Technically, yes.
With no chance of saving throws because he's taken 15 points of damage, and that is more than his total health in one shot.
I thought it had to be doubled yourself.
Yeah.
Maybe it's double.
I think it's
double.
Bring me down, and then
so
also
you're at 0. You're currently dying, Iylis.
Ow.
You see an arrow come out. You guys, Hylough and Rat and Hylough, as you're moving around the edge, you see an arrow come out through the front of Iylis' chest, and he kind of slumps to the ground, blood kind of pouring out.
And I can't get up.
I can't make this one up, man. I don't know what to tell you. I'm not trying to kill you. This is the whole point, is to get you sort of a thing to get you onto the ship, but wow.
No, you're keeping him off the ship is what you're doing.
Currently keeping you off the ship.
Paid the gold. You wouldn't have it.
No, the problem is that my companions can't hit anybody.
Yeah, well, there's that.
There is
You
that.
didn't pay the gold.
That isn't helping you. You're correct. All right. And that's the first time any of you hear him say, he's like, church is pleased. What you hear from that. The other girl pulls out a rapier. And you actually, I should say, the church is pleased, and he says, leave no witnesses. And she pulls out a rapier and attacks Rat.
Oh no.
All right, now it is my fight.
She hits Rat for 9 points.
Ow.
Rat is dead.
And Rat goes down. Rat doesn't have any hit points. Rat is now down.
All right.
And then Rat's turn. Rat must make a death saving throw. So let's have him make a death saving throw. 20, because I don't think. Oh, he has rolled 1. He has failed 2 of them. So,
Oh no.
That's horrible for Rat. That's horrible for Rat. Marcus, you're up. Your True Strike is primed.
Well,
wow, this has been a bit more deadly than intended. Oh well.
I'm gonna shoot that guy in the back.
That's fine. Go for it.
Let me get the right. I can't do the spells for some reason still, but anyway.
Just
Let's
do it.
Another.
So, True Strike gives you advantage, correct?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. You're using Sharpshooter to shoot him?
I am.
Okay. All right. You take the better of the 2, but still -5, or did you include
Still
that?
-5.
So 17.
Yep.
All right. I believe 17 still hits. It does. It does indeed hit. So +10 to that, correct?
Yeah, 18 points.
Yeah. All right. So your crossbow bolt fires shattered through the night, and you can see it hit him in the back in his shoulder blade, and you can hear him go, "Rah!" And you can hear almost as if like you've done something to his shoulder blade, and you see his arm just drop limp to his side. And then he turns towards you, and you can see his eyes glow with a red glow.
Yeah, I figured.
Bad boy.
Now,
well, that was your attack. You should still move if you want.
Yeah, I can. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's not really advantageous for me to move. Let me see. 60 feet. Who can I see within 60 feet? Anyone?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can see Iylis is within 60 feet. And 11. Rat is also within 60 feet. 1, 2.
But both of them are down, so Bardic won't help at all.
No.
All right. So, I guess that's going to be my turn.
Okay. Iylis, give me a death saving throw.
I loaded the wrong healing.
You do have a bardic inspiration, and I
do.
will allow you to use it on this. He gave you one of the bar.
What's your dice?
A D6.
Cool. I'm going.
It actually wore off here, but
Oh, yeah, you're right. He waited an hour. Never mind. Roll your d20. Roll your death saving throw.
Aw, you had to say something.
You're correct. Technically, I'm not sure you're able to use it on this.
Ah.
All right, so that's 1 failure.
Oh.
But you get 2 more. Hylough, you're up.
All right.
I love how this campaign is starting exactly like the last one. Robert is
Oh
down.
man. 13. 13 hitter.
13 again hits off. You cut her cloak, but it doesn't seem to find any of the weak spots of her armor.
Okay.
Man, what is your roll? Yeah, you haven't rolled above a 10 yet in this combat, have you?
Somebody rolls 20s all the time.
It seems like it.
Somebody else
All right,
doesn't
so-
roll squat.
Oh, did you want to do anything? You still have a bonus and a move.
I don't know that I can do any bonuses. Let's see here.
Oh, by the way, what fighting style did you pick?
Do I have access to that one?
Yeah,
I
you get
think
fighting
you're-
style at first level.
Okay. It's it was the I can't remember. Hold on.
That's the one thing, because maybe you get a bonus from that, and that might change that miss into a hit.
Okay. All right. So hold on a second here. All right. Where can I find this? I had it.
Archery,
All right,
defense, dueling, great weapon fighting, protection, 2 weapon fighting.
I think I had the 2 weapon fighting, but
that won't help you. It's damage.
No, it won't happen to this. It won't help on this one.
Unfortunately.
Well, make sure about that. I mean,
you only have a +3.
The only one. Yeah, I don't think any of them will help you anyway for this one.
None of them help
Do you not have proficiency on your longsword, or do you not add that to attack?
Well,
Good.
I mean, I didn't set up this in here, so
No, you don't have proficient turned on. So
okay. Oh, okay. All right. So, but
it
I am
it is
proficient. I know.
So you should
So-
have a +2 to that, which
Okay.
means you hit.
Which would make it 15.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Which
Well,
means
let
If
you
you
me.
move where I can see you, I can do you bardic.
Uh-huh.
This embodies the
So-
voice.
All right, so that means you do 7 points of damage to her.
Okay.
And she falls to the ground, bleeding
Well-
from a cut through her side.
That was
do have-
last.
I do have proficient turned on.
No, I turned it on. I just
Oh, you just turned it on.
Yep,
Okay.
I just turned it on. I noticed it wasn't on when I was looking at the weapon.
All right. Well, I hope I didn't just
So
turn it off.
with and she falls to the ground, bleeding from a gash in her side.
Okay.
Serves you right.
I may have just turned it off. I'm not sure because I was in there probably doing it at the same time you were doing it. So okay.
You can always turn it back on.
And I can't get it. It won't come back up again now. So
Yeah, you turned it on.
okay.
All right. End of Hylough's turn, unless he wants to move.
So she's down.
Yeah,
right?
she goes down.
Okay. Hold on.
She,
Let me go.
her wound is seeping blood out, and
Ha. So I'm gonna. No, I'm gonna. There's nothing I can do. I'm gonna peek around the
can
corner
move.
here.
I mean,
Yeah, I know, but I don't.
you can move. You can try to. Well, you can move up to one of these two guys and try to bind their wounds, but that binding wounds is still an action. So
Okay.
But you can do it next round.
yes, you can move closer to someone so you can do it next round.
Okay. Yeah. All right. So I'll step on the chick.
All right. On the chick. All right. The other hunter. I gotta remember what his hit points are. Looks both ways. He says, You may have won this round, but we will follow you to the ends of the earth. And then he then you see him here.
Okay.
Like he kind of disappears and reappears further down the actual thing.
Oh. I was going to opportunity attack him anyway, but yeah.
Wow, what a perfect recurring villain.
2, 3, 4, 5.
Actually, it was probably a lower die that we just got lucky.
Yeah.
So
was
he
hoping
starts
he
running.
wasn't the boss.
Other hunter is currently dying.
Lol.
Rat is currently dying. Let's give him another attempt at. He could die with this.
He dies.
Rat
Well,
dies. Rat expires
Aw.
in front of you.
Oh no, Rat.
I was gonna get ready. I was trying to go.
Rat expires in front of you. Marcus, you're up.
Rip Rat.
6. Damn it.
Are
I needed his recommendation.
I guess the question I have to ask is: are you going to let the other guy go?
Yeah. Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Then we'll come out of combat, and you can
I've got
attempt
Cure
to.
Wounds, so we'll cast Cure Wounds on the girl and try to save Rat, which...
Right. All right.
What?
You're going to cast Cure
What
Wounds
about
on
me?
the girl?
On the girl?
Okay. Iylis is currently dying.
No, I'm casting Cure Wounds on the girl, and then I'm going to try to save Rat, which is...
Which
She's
girl?
dead.
There's only one girl here, and she's bad.
Okay, I'm trying to...
Rat's dead. I'm not, and I'm dying.
I apologize.
Iylis is not a girl.
I am not a girl.
I'll do Iylis.
Okay.
It's not.
I'm,
Cast
like,
your,
Huh?
I'm standing on this woman.
cast your cure net wounds.
It won't add to my sheet, so it's just going to be a D8.
Just because I have long hair doesn't mean I'm a girl.
All right. What is it? /R/R?
Yes. That's backslash.
Yeah, it is too. And are there any bonuses on that? It's +2, so 7 points. Before I
Thank you
do
so
that,
much.
7 points. I am going to sleight of hand
So,
his.
John,
wallet.
you've added cure wounds to your sheet like 5 times,
It's not showing up.
and you've done new spell like 6 times.
Oh, well, it's not showing up. That's why I can't.
What? It's not showing up
pop
where?
out?
It's not showing up on your HUD.
On the pop out at all.
Yeah, because you don't have any spell slots available. Now you do, because I just gave you 2 spells that you haven't cast
Right,
yet.
but they're not listed under the first level at all.
I see. Cure wounds, disguise self, identify Longstrider, all under your thing.
Yeah, I'm not seeing them on this end. I don't know.
Make sure nothing is checked, like the action, bonus action, reaction. None of those things are selected.
Right. All right. Okay. So hold on.
Okay.
Look in your character sheet. Go into your spellbook. Do you see spells on your actual character sheet?
I only see. That's what I'm saying. I only see True Strike.
Okay.
That's what's so weird. That's why I keep trying to add it.
Go to your HUD now, because I've now prepared them.
Okay.
Go click on your character.
Right.
Go over spells. Do you see level 1?
I
spells?
still don't see any. The only spell I see is True Strike.
Well, now you're casting.
Hold on, let's see.
Now you're casting a spell. There you go.
Okay, well that's fine. I just don't know why it's not.
Oh no, I'm seeing it perfectly fine. So you should be seeing it.
And it should be on charisma anyway. But
well, that's easier.
no, I know that's neither here nor there.
Hey,
I
look,
am going to do sleight of hand to take several gold out of his wallet.
I mean, you don't have to do sleight of hand. He's not conscious. You
I
can
know,
do
but
that.
I don't want
You
to
can
do it
take
before I'm
You can
up.
take the gold first and then cure him. Is
That's
what I'm telling
exactly what I'm doing. But I just want to make it don't make it really obvious to Chad Hylough.
All right.
Do I not realize how despicable this guy is?
Do sleight of hand.
Hylough,
Hylough, what's your passive perception, Hylough?
It is something mediocre. 10. It's just 10.
All right, you kind of look up as Marcus comes up to Iylis, and you see him rummage through his pouch before he casts a spell on him.
Do I not get advantage because I'm being all subtle and
You rolled an 8, man.
Well, no, that's why I wanted
You're not being
advantage.
subtle.
For the 19.
You're not. You're trying to do sleight of hand. There's nothing.
Okay.
There's nothing you're doing that's going to.
What are you doing? Leave the guy alone.
I'm saving his life. I'm getting my payment.
You are a despicable creature.
And you're a naive fool. So
Help me.
we balance out.
All right, so Rad is
Listen while you work.
deceased. You're gonna leave the dead body, and I'm assuming you're not helping the girl, so she expires.
Yeah, I'm
No.
gonna go through her body, her not her body, but I'm gonna go through her
Wait.
stuff
All right. Well, she
and
she
take
has
whatever I
she has
want.
that light crossbow. She has she's wearing studded leather armor with a gash in it, where you kind of found a way through it. She has a rapier.
Could I use that armor? I don't think I can use it. A rapier. I'll take the rapier and the crossbow and her bolts.
Yeah, she's
Yeah,
got
we
some
wouldn't take
bolts.
her body and dump it in
That's it.
the sewer.
No cash.
She doesn't have any cash.
No cash.
Mm.
So let's take her body and dump it in the
No,
sewer.
no jewelry or anything.
Well,
No,
she's got a gold. It's a bronze torque with 2-headed lions on around her neck.
yeah, that looks interesting. Maybe I can pawn that somewhere.
That-
All right, I'll take that.
You try to take it off, it doesn't come off.
Can you hear me?
I'm sorry. What did you say? You wanted to bury the body in the sewer? or something?
No, I say I wouldn't take that because it's probably
Yeah,
more.
you try to pull it off and it does not come off.
Well, if I take her head off, will it come off?
You
We
can
don't
try
have time.
if you'd like.
Let's
You
take
can
the
try to
body.
take it off. You got maybe at this point in time, Marcus, you hear the telltale sign of guardsmen approaching. You figure you got maybe 2 minutes.
Right.
Well, all right.
Is there a
Move
place to ditch the body?
I mean, the dock is literally
Okay.
right in front of you. You could throw it in the water if you want.
Let's take the stuff. I can use the rapier if you want the crossbow. And ditch the body.
What about rat?
I'm sorry. You've I've got both items.
That's
And
why
you
I'm
have
saying.
you have
I
gold
call it.
and you have gold.
Okay, it's gonna be like that.
Oh, yeah.
I was gonna give you, and we're not talking about gold, by the way. Gold from my playing, yes, I do have. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Let's get this guy to the ship.
Okay. All right.
So we take the body and dump it first.
Remember, there's
Sure.
also the body of the little rat, the little kid.
I would let's
Well, we
let's
can
take.
carry Rat
I'd
too.
rather. I'm gonna take Rat. You haul Iylis, and we'll get over to the ship. And I don't
I
care
can
about this
walk for
person. I don't need to
myself,
bury
I'll
this
feel
person.
better.
This woman. She's doing something illegal. She shouldn't be here. Let's get out of here.
I'm not burying her. I'm throwing her so that she won't come back or something. I'm just gonna
I'll
throw her in the
help.
harbor.
I'll help.
Iylis can walk.
I'll help Marcus dump the woman in the river
I'm gonna
or
carry
the ocean, whatever it is.
Rat
Marcus
back.
seems to do it really quickly and well. It's like he's used to getting rid of bodies or something.
Huh.
It's like you're good at this.
Oh, I
Poison
know what's
in the
wrong,
ocean.
John. For some reason, the opposite side is not updating. Like it's all updating on my side, but not on. I've seen this happen before.
I mean, it's okay. I hopefully won't need it anytime soon. So,
No.
but that's why I kept throwing spells in there, trying to figure out why they weren't showing up.
Oh wait, no, everything is correct. I'm sorry. On my side, it's things are correct. Like here, let me check. Like the Watcher can look at your character sheet. So on his sheet, under your spellbook, I do see everything as well. So it's really weird. Oh well. So there are stairs that go down there, Hylough, but you know that the ship is actually, if you zoom out a bit, the ship is actually over on the pier that's a little bit further to the west.
Aha. You got to go over here.
But you guys can throw the body in here. I don't care. That's fine.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
throw the body like over here
All
somewhere.
right, so you guys ditch this body,
Take the weapon.
and then you guys head to the ship.
I'll sleight of hand a gold to Chad.
Okay. I'll hand him the rapier.
All right. So you guys continue, and you make it to the ship. When you get to the ship, you can see.
It's missing
There's
a
a guy-
mast.
Well, no, it's so you can see through it. There is this guy. It's kind of lounging on the. I'll show you in a second. It's kind of lounging on the gangplank that leads up to it. And,
He has green skin.
Yeah.
Green.
He looks at you guys. He's coming in. He's like, "Oh, Marcus, I see you brought our little rat back. Was he drinking too much again?"
He ran into trouble. I think Rat
He's
has
dead. Rat's dead.
drunk his
He's like,
glass.
"What?
Rat's dead.
Who are you? Did you
Two
kill
hunters
him?"
were fighting this lad, and Rat felt the need to protect him. So I guess he's
Died trying to save me.
the ship's charge now.
I see. Bring him aboard. You, kid. Who's not such a kid, so you're 20-something.
I was told to give this to you, and I rummage around in my backpack and pull out the medallion.
Actually, you don't
yeah,
pull
you
out the
did.
medallion. You don't pull out the medallion. It's not there.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
Hold
hey,
on.
you mean this?
Yeah, that.
You are 100% sure you put it in your
Oh,
stuff.
okay, I didn't take it.
No, you took it.
Oh no, that's what I'm saying.
I'm
drop
saying
it
that
right.
Iylis is 100% sure that he put it in his stuff.
It was right here.
Well, as he's rummaging, I'll bend down and find it on the ground. You mean this?
All right, give me a
Yeah,
sleight of hand.
that.
You need to give me a sleight of hand check. Well, no, you don't have to. That's fine. All right, he's one
No,
of
I
the
know.
main guys.
I'm gullible enough to believe that.
All right. You show
Still keeping the two.
you show him
gold.
the medallion. He says, "Oh, you're one of Simeon's brats. All right, here." And he gives it back to you. He says, "Come on, let's get aboard quick. I don't want anybody seeing you come aboard this ship. The name's Barsk. I'm first mate here of the Maiden's Folly." As you kind of start getting on the ship.
Nice to meet you. I'm
I'm gonna bring you back to
Iylis.
here.
Church wants him, by the way.
Welcome aboard. Now let's see what we can do here about Rat here. Rhux! Rhux, you're needed now! Andrew, if you
Yes, sir. What's
were not
up?
paying attention,
No, I
you
am
hear
paying attention.
You hear
I've been here.
No. I'm just saying, if you weren't paying attention, you hear the bellow of First Mate Barsk on deck, above deck. You're sitting in your bunk down below, and you kind of, with the rest of the crew, hearing him, you kind of come running up. Now, you guys, when this guy comes up onto the deck. There's a couple sailors on deck. They're doing a few night duties, but a new guy comes up from below, and he looks like this. So what
Oh
comes
my
up
gosh.
on deck looks
Oh.
like a monster.
He looks like a rainbow.
And also a rainbow. He comes up on deck and
Davy Jones.
Bar
Oh,
says,
wait, this is the old one. I gave you a new one.
well, I didn't.
Yeah, you didn't have time to do it. It's fine. There's a newer one that looks different than this.
You change colors per day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he
definitely.
says,
Chameleon.
Rux,
He's
Brad
actually
here ran
but
into
it's
some
okay.
problems. Let's see what you can do for him. So they kind of, what do you want to do? Sorry. You can see Rad is being held
Found
by
your
this.
new one.
Is being held by this guy that you've never met before.
I'll take him below. I'll see what I can do.
He says,
Well, I'm carrying Rat.
yeah,
I'll grab him. I'm
Okay.
assuming I can carry him.
yeah,
okay.
he's
Pretty
like a
big dude.
child. So-
Yeah, and I'm like big.
All right.
Oh.
So you take him down
Lizard
below.
man.
And set him out onto one of the beds in one of the cabins. And you feel for a pulse, and give me a medicine check.
Where's mine? Here's mine. Medication.
Yes, you're doing
Oh, I
great
suck.
tonight. You feel no pulse.
Damn.
He seems to be dead. do you wanna do?
I will attempt to revive him.
Okay.
Because clearly, like, if I look at him, like, is there any wound that looks like it's pulsing the most?
He's clearly he's clearly taken some kind of sword strike.
He's been stabbed,
He's been
my
stabbed.
guy.
And it went
All right,
right through his chest, really close to where his heart was. So he probably died almost instantly.
All right, I will try to see if I can revive him at all.
All right.
With
You can do your surgeon.
Give him CPR.
what is it?
Do your surgeon thing.
I forgot what it is.
Oh, it's on your character. It's in your character. If you look-
Herbalism.
If you,
Oh
no,
it's
no,
in
if you
features,
look in your
probably.
features, you'll see the
Dead
Reckoning.
Dead
That's it.
Reckoning. That's what it
Yeah.
is. I thought that was for. Oh yeah.
So use a healer's kit, and I will allow in this case for it to act as if it was a revivify, but normally I won't. This is just once. All right, you apply some. Did you guys come downstairs with him?
No. No.
Okay, you
I
guys are in
was
the, all right.
still on
So you
deck.
apply the herbalism. You apply that poultice. You say the words that your grandmama so long ago had taught you, and then you put your little bit of extra little juju into it,
Hmm.
and suddenly
Oh.
suddenly he goes. Actually, I really had to cough.
Yo.
Mhm.
He actually died.
And he goes, "Oh my god, that hurts!" Ah."
How'd you do that?
You guys are up on deck. You don't know that he's done that.
Yeah.
Up on deck,
Glad to see you're back, Rat.
Barsk is looking you guys over, and he says, "You two are the new guys that were going out on the tide tomorrow."
That's me.
Well, get down below, all the way to the bottom. You guys have some bunks. And you, kid,
Yes.
even though you're not a kid, and you, kid, second, go down one deck, go over straight across. You'll see that there's an open cabin. Take it. You get it.
Perfect. Thank you.
Wait a minute. He gets a cabin?
He's a passenger.
Oh.
You're a crewman.
Oh.
Get ready to get ready to understand what bilges are, Hylough.
Yeah.
You're gonna
Okay.
love it.
That sounds like it.
You know what bilges are already. You've been on a ship before.
Oh yeah.
So,
That's pretty nasty.
yes, it's pretty nasty. We're shipping out tomorrow. Everybody be ready. And then we'll end that little vignette there. All right. So the next day,
How many gold could I get? I just want to get like 2 or 4 gold.
You got 4.
So I'll give 2 to Chad, and I'll keep 2, and you gave me the rapier.
Yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure we got it up.
All right. So the next day, the ship leaves on the tide. Now, to give you guys a little bit about what the Maiden's Folly is, and everybody should kind of listen to this because as we get to Port Hope, you're going to want to know about this as well. Anyway, holy cow! I didn't realize that was going to take 2 hours. I meant it to take about an hour.
Oops.
No, that's fine.
Because I died.
No, wasn't really why. So, you have the captain of the ship, one Captain Adara. Adara, for the most part, lets Barsk do all the talking. So for the next 2 days, you guys kind of are sailing from Kermagal to Wensmar. And you see her on deck, usually in the morning, usually at dusk, usually at dawn, usually at dusk, occasionally midday, never at night if you're ever up on the top at night. She doesn't say a lot, but she does speak, but she doesn't say a lot. She did welcome you, Marcus and Hylough, onto the ship in a captain sort of way, but basically saying, stay out of my way and we'll get along fine. But she's, for the most part, the rest of the crew seems to respect her. So clearly she's done something that makes them all enamored with her, or at least take her direction. You've met Barsk, which we'll show again. He's the first mate. It's very clear he's a half orc. He is about 6.5 feet tall. He's almost as tall as Rhux is, which Rhux we'll get back to again. And he's the guy that tends to do a lot of the main captaining of the ship, not really captaining, but direction during the day on board the ship. However, for the most part, Hylough and Marcus, you tend to get mostly the evening shifts of the thing. And so you guys end up dealing with, you're going to love this one, John, Aslan.
Amazing.
What?
Aslan is second mate and also the quartermaster.
No, I don't love it.
And she typically runs the night watch, or the night shift. Usually only like 3 or 4 sailors that do it. You got a couple guys keeping the rigging. You got the helmsman doing the stuff, and occasionally they'll send somebody up to the to the crow's nest, but not very often during at night. She's also the quartermaster, so she's the one that provides you with equipment as necessary, and she's the one that has basically the key to the gun locker, which we'll get to in a bit. Around the ship, you also have met Land. The first day you meet Land right away. Land is a dwarf. She is also the cook. She is not a very good cook. She's also
a woman.
She's also a very angry cook. Land and her helper Tuber. So here's Tuber.
Look at this dude.
Basically,
Don't make fun of him. He's out here.
Tuber is a really great kid, also not exactly bright.
Hey, don't make fun of Tuber, okay? Tuber's out here.
He helps Lon,
Doing his best.
Mostly what he's doing is moving things around for her. Things like picking up the big sacks of flour, putting them down. Picking up the big barrels of water, putting them down. That's pretty much what his job seems to be. He doesn't do anything else on the ship as far as you can tell. However, you did notice the morning of the when you guys left, he was carrying stuff onto the ship. So he seems to be probably just more like, muscle. More than anything else.
Dude.
You have your helmsman. You're gonna love this one. Helmsman named Perry. Perry is a gnome. He's also the helmsman. Think about that one for a second.
I don't have an issue with that.
I was gonna see over the rail.
How's he gonna see over the railing?
Yeah, you can't see over the wheel.
Perry is a helmsman. He's a good helmsman. However, he has to take a lot of direction. So he takes a lot of direction from the navigator.
What's the point?
And the navigator here goes by the name of Sand. Sand is a very, very pretty boy.
He's just trying to
He's
show off.
always working out on the thing. He's always up front navigating. He is your surfer guy. He's always like, hey, let's get some rays, dude.
He's like cooler than Hylough.
That's for sure.
He's cooler than Hylough, that's true.
He is the navigator, and he tends to provide the direction.
More tan than Hylough.
What else we got? Those are your main guys that you learn the most about. There's also probably about another half dozen sailors that are basically at the same level as you guys are. They're the basic swabbing the decks, doing stuff in the rigging, occasionally going up in the crow's nest, that sort of stuff. So you guys spend the next 2 days of relatively clear, nice weather. Oh yeah, sorry, forgot. I did forget. You do know, because you've met him now, that Rhux here is the ship's surgeon. He is And ironically, I forgot about this too. The morning that you guys leave, you guys see Rat. And Rat, while he's got a pretty big gash on his side, is breathing and sleeping. He is alive.
Good to see, little guy.
You're 100% sure that kid was dead, though.
Wait a minute.
Too many things go on in the world I don't have any business with.
All right, so
looks
you
like
guys
some
spend the next
cool
2
magic.
days sailing from Cairngorm to Wensmar. So Wensmar is right here. Zoom in a little bit. And reaching Wensmar, you guys go into port on Wensmar. And Wensmar is, like, Cairngorm is a relatively large city, maybe 5, 6, 7,000 people. Wensmar is on the neighborhood of like 1,000 or 2. So it's not small, but it's not huge either. And at Wensmar, you guys pull into port, and you're given shore leave if you wish to take it. But they're going to leave on the next tide. So basically, they're just there for an overnight. You basically make it there late afternoon of 2 days, after 2 days, and it's the next morning tide that you're out. So you get some shore leave. You're able to go to the little local tavern, that sort of stuff, if you wish. Is anybody going to partake in that? If not,
I think I'm gonna stay on the ship.
All right, Iylis, good call.
I mean, I'll go to the tavern. And...
Rhux doesn't like to leave. He is going to remain.
Okay, Rhux.
Maybe I'll hang out with
I will
Rhux.
say, Rhux. You tend to have more of your people as you get further into the Sea of Tears than you do out of it. So
Yeah.
I'm just reminding you of that. So it is more than likely that you might encounter more Mazzalan here than you would other.
Well, I'll ask Marcus if he wants to go into town.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Let's go.
You guys head into town. You head to. Do you guys want to follow somebody? You guys have never been to Wensmar.
Yeah, I'll follow. Someone I know who's.
Bars, actually, Perry's like, yeah, I'm ready to get off onto this thing. We got to get some stuff going on here. How about we have ourselves a little bit of a bar crawl? And when I mean bar crawl, I mean one bar, because that's all they got here.
Yeah, I was about to say a little bit is probably good for me.
And he takes you to the local watering hole, funnily enough called the Watering Hole.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I've now just added a bar in Wensmar called the Watering Hole. All right. They're basically, it's a pretty rowdy place. Like, you're starting to get more into the more, I wouldn't call it uncivilized, but a little more lawless kind of areas, even out here. Wensmar is still a pretty decent sized city. There is sort of a mayor and a bit of a watch, but they're a little lax here on the docks because they want they need the trade, they need the people coming through. So they tend to not be as vigilant as other places might be, say, like Cairngorm and stuff like that. You guys have a pretty rowdy night. But get back to the ship in one piece for the most part. I would say that Marcus, maybe you did a little bit of your little singing and stuff like that. Did a few sea shanties, possibly a few other things, and
Yeah, I didn't do a lot of drinking. Maybe just enough to be win the crowd, but playing some music.
you're able to get out of it all about 5 silver.
Excellent.
It's a little cheaper your place, so yeah, it's not great, but it's not the worst you could have done. But on the way back to the ship, as you're coming back in, you see Barsk talking with a guy who's taller than he is. So they're at the gangplank up, and Barsk is talking to the guy. You can't hear him from this distance currently, but you can clearly see Barsk is kind of talking with him. The guy is taller than Barsk is, and there's another cloaked person who's probably just a little bit taller than Rat, standing next to this tall, huge guy. Think of this huge dichotomy of people. Somebody taller than Barsk, probably clearly 7. This guy is probably 7'2", something like that, with this other person who's maybe 4.5 feet tall, if that, maybe probably closer to 4 than 4.5. So a huge disparity. And as you're kind of walking through, there's a bit of a flash in the moonlight as it's clear that some money changes hands into Barsk. And then Barsk says, you can hear this because you're getting close enough. You say, all right, take the cabin in the front on the first floor. We'll leave you alone. It's all good. And you see the man, the tall guy, nod, and then the two of them walk up the plank, and they go to the forecastle where there's two doors in, and you know that there is a hallway back there plus two larger cabins. And they head into one of those doors and disappear for the night. I will give you a picture of the big guy because you would see enough of him to have an idea. So he kind of looks like that. All right.
Ooh, serious eyes, purple eyes.
Purple.
Right. So Bars says, guys, good to see you back. Do you have a good night? He's literally shouting this at you guys, and you're like,
Yeah.
and hop on, get back onto the ship. And in the morning, it takes off, and it starts heading down the coast here. So you're following the coast of this is South Ferran, the island of South Ferran, and you're heading down the coast of this thing, and eventually you come around this peninsula and into Port Hope.
Huh.
So as you guys get into Port Hope, we're going to take a break from you guys, and we're going to talk with Praedyth. Praedyth, you've been in Port Hope for the last couple of days. And you've been here because you had a correspondence with a man named Penvro. Penvro, oh man, I can never remember his last name, even though I wrote it. Let me get yours.
I was actually just about to go look at the secrets again to remember.
It's like Arabiani or something like that. Penvro. Oh, Tiberian. So Penvro looks like this. And you have been meeting with Penvro for the last couple of days, and he's been regaling you of the tales of his adventures in the Sea of Tears and all of the different ziggurats and monoliths and jungle temples that he's been to in the last couple of years. And Penvro is like, I should take you to my place, my home. We should go to Calestria, to my plantations, where you can see some of the artifacts that I have collected. And from there, we can then decide what else to look to see if maybe we can find some of this strange writing you keep speaking of.
That sounds wonderful.
You guys are currently in the main room of Pot's Landing. Pot's Landing is the local inn on the docks here at Port Hope. And he looks up and says, Pot, my man. Theo is his name. Theo, my man, could we get a bit more of that special cheese you had imported for me? And Theo Theo as a halfling, kind of a middle-aged halfling. He kind of gives him a look. You can, Praedyth, you've noticed this by now. He kind of gives that kind of look to himself. Is like, certainly, sir. I will do what I can, and we'll see if we have any more of it. And he goes into the back. And Penro's like, Theo is such a good man. I wish I had one of him back at my plantation. He might be able to teach some of my cooks a thing or two. So, should we try to find passage somewhere to get to my plantations?
Yes, sooner rather than later.
When Theo comes back, we'll see if there's anything available. At the same time, what's his name? Aaron. You are also at Pot's Landing. In that inn. You have arrived here. You arrived here a day before on a different ship, following up a lead about your father. You know that there is a man here in Port Hope who supposedly sailed with your father about a decade ago, and that's the closest you've gotten so far in timing. He is called. Oh man, what did I give you a name or not? Not that I have to make one up. You have not. I did not. You know that his name is Vardagast. Elbian Vardagast. He actually was a crewmate of your father. At least that's what you've heard from some of the people you've talked with. and he supposedly now has settled down here in Port Hope. What do you want to do?
Walk in.
Well, you don't. I mean, you don't know where he lives, so where are you gonna go?
Just walk in somewhere.
I don't know. Get a drink.
All right, so you're
getting a drink.
You're getting a drink. You walk up to the
Best
bar
character
in
in
Pot's Landing, and you come up to the bar, and nobody's there because, well, Theo is in the kitchen right now. But after a moment, this halfling comes out of the kitchen. He's got this tray of, you want to call it cheese, but you're not sure that it's cheese based on what you see because it's kind of dripping all over the plate a little bit. But he takes it over and puts it in front of Penvro, a guy that's sitting with a gnome, and he says, "Here you go, sir. The best we could find right now. I hope it's up to your quality matter." And then he comes back and he looks at you and says, "Ah, hello, my name's Theo. I am the owner of this fine establishment. What do you need?"
I would like an ale, please.
All right. Such dark broodingness. Here we go. And he pours you an ale and hands it down. That will be 3 copper.
I give him 3 copper.
Okay. He says, "What are you in town for?"
I'm currently looking for someone. Would you help me
Lots of people
get
looking
a
for
location
things.
for him?
Lots
What
of
was the
people
name?
looking for things. What could you, maybe
What
a
was-
name?
What was the name? Aldabud?
Aldeban Vardagast.
His name is Eldabin Vardagast.
Aldeban. The name sounds familiar. You don't mean that the tailor up the street, do you?
Possibly.
Okay. His name is Aldeban. I don't know if he goes by Vardagast though. Do you have a description? Unfortunately,
Do I
you
have a
don't.
description?
No, unfortunately, you don't.
No.
Well, Aldeban is not a very common name, so let's assume that it is the same guy. I could give you some directions.
That would be very much appreciated.
But, mine's a little fuzzy.
I give the man a silver.
Okay. So, all right. Go straight up the street. Go outside. Go straight down the street for about, 3 or 4 streets. Then you'll take a right. You'll head up the hill there. And about halfway up the hill, you're going to run into a tailor's shop. Ask for Aldeban. In fact,
Thank you.
You don't have to ask for him. He's the only one there. So, and good luck to you. I hope you find what you need.
I down the ale and start heading out.
Okay. It doesn't take you very long to get there. Port Hope is like about 1,000 people. It's much smaller than Windsmar. And you get up there, and sure enough, there is a tailor shop. Basically, it's a tailor in the sense of like a leather worker, seamstress, kind of. It's kind of all wrapped into one. Somebody who makes a lot of different clothes for various people. And opening up the door, you head inside, and there is a I want to say not elderly man, but well past middle-aged man sitting there. Kind of, he looks like he is running sort of like a, for lack of a better term, a pizza cutter across some stuff. But you're pretty clear he's like cutting some leather. And he kind of looks up at you as he comes in and he says, "Yes, can I help you?"
Would you happen to go by the name of Eldabud Vardagast?
A while ago, yes. In my younger days.
Now that's a name I haven't heard
In a
in a
long
long
time.
time.
In my younger days, I went by Vardagast. It was my nom de plume, or as they might say it these days.
I was hoping if you would have any information about a man you might have sailed with back in your younger days.
Maybe. What's his
All right.
name?
Gosh. I gotta look. Give me a
Baal
second.
Kinzal. Your father's name is Baal Kinzal.
Okay. His name is Balakinzal.
I remember Baal Kinzal. Very tall man. Very pale-skinned. Strange eyes. But he was a good sailor. Back in those days, he was second mate, I think. Second mate on the Maiden's Folly. Pretty sure that's the ship's name. I don't know where he's up to nowadays. It's easily 10, 12 years ago. What's he
Yeah.
to you?
He's an important person.
See, well, yeah, I haven't seen him since then. I was the first mate, and it was finally time for me to bid my adieu. The sea was causing my bones to not feel so great anymore. The highs and the lows were tearing me apart. So I decided instead to use my newfound skills at stitching up people to make clothes. Seems to work.
Well, I mean, if you have the skill, why not put it to use?
It's true. Very, very wise for your age.
Thank you.
Is there anything else I can help you with? Maybe a hat?
Ooh, a hat.
You look like the kind
Go
of
hat.
This
It cheers him up suddenly.
Ooh, a hat.
You look like the kind of man who needs a wide-brimmed hat with a feather.
Change him completely.
Exactly.
He points at a couple. There's a few that are, different feathers, different hats, wide-brimmed hats. They're, I don't know, if you want a hat with a feather.
Nah, I'm just gonna give him a silver and say thank you.
No
Thank you
problem.
for all your time.
No problem. It's good to see you. And one of the folk.
Good to make your acquaintance.
I hope you
And I
find
head
what
out.
you're looking for.
I hope so too.
And he bids you adieu.
I give him a bow.
Okay. What do you do next?
Well, I'm gonna
So you
head to
now
the
have
dock.
a ship's name. All right.
I'm gonna head to the dock and try to talk to the Harbormaster.
Okay. You head to the dock. Getting down to the docks, it's pretty obvious from your time that you've been going around over the last year, typically where the Harbormaster stays or is located, and you're able to find it pretty quickly. Inside, you find a man sitting on a stool. He is portly, not too tall though. In fact, after you take a second, you realize he's probably a dwarf, or he's probably tall. He's tall for a dwarf, but still probably a dwarf. He looks at you and he says, "Hey, laddie, what you need? I don't need any dock workers today. We're all filled up."
I was hoping if there was a ship called the Maiden's Folly in.
Not now, not yet. But I think there is. Hold on, give me a second. He goes over to a book and yeah, it's due in tonight. Probably, I don't know, 3-4 hours from now.
Thank you. I give him a silver, and I give him a bow.
Lots of people silvers.
And it's
I
just
give him a
everyone gets a silver.
I give him a bow,
All right.
and I head off
All right, where are you headed?
back to the inn.
Okay, so you're heading back to Potts Landing.
I probably have to keep track of this. So
Yeah, you
Yeah,
do.
you might need to. All right.
let's see. 1 gold is 10 silver, so we got 9.
Yep.
And I gave him 3 copper, so we break that silver up into 10.
So
Yeah, 10
you make it
silver.
back to Potts Landing, and we will flash back to Praedyth. Praedyth, Pemvro is the typical. He's very talkative, likes to talk about his plantation and what he's been doing. So for the last, I don't know, maybe 30 minutes to an hour that the elf or the half elf has been gone, you've been listening to story after story from this guy. It's getting a little tedious. And then we came out of the jungle with a big, huge snake. The snake was huge, easily 50 feet long, and we cut off its head. And inside we found an ancient artifact from the old Malazan Empire.
Oh, really?
Yes.
And
Were you going to say something?
What kind of artifact was it?
Oh, it was an idol. It was about.
This is the problem. You keep egging them
About
on.
a foot tall. It was
Shut
made
up.
of a strange. It was made of jade. It was very precious. Unfortunately, I was unable to keep it because the next day we were attacked by a local tribe of Malazan, and they took off. Well, not only some of my porters, but they also took off a variety of the supplies we had taken, and so we fled for our lives.
How terrible.
It was quite terrible. I really need to get back there someday and try to find that again.
Well, we should be off looking for transport now.
Oh, I believe, Theo, do you know of any incoming transport? It's at that point Theo kind of looks up and a woman comes in about the same time, and Theo says, "I believe there's probably some ships down at the harbor we could probably find for you. You're looking for where? Calastria?" And the woman kind of perks up as she kind of comes in there and says, "Oh, I'm looking for a place to go to. I'm looking to get to Calastria as well. Can you find me that? Can you get me on that same place with these guys?" And Theo says, "Of course, Miss Dresd'a. I will see what I can do. You two are also looking to Calastria. I will send someone down to the Harbormaster as soon as possible and see if I can get you guys passage. Is that acceptable for you?"
Sounds wonderful.
Great. And then the woman, whose name is clearly Dresd'a, heads up back upstairs. Clearly she must have a room of some sort.
What was the gentleman's name I'm talking to again? I'm sorry.
Penvro.
Penvro, you must excuse me for just a bit of time. I've totally forgotten. I need to get some supplies before I head off.
Well, I can certainly take you to some wonderful places in the middle of town. Would you like for me to go with you? I can get you some good deals as well.
I mumble under my breath. God damn it. Absolutely. I would love to.
All right. So you guys head off to get supplies. When you get back, Theo is like, "Yes, I have found out that the Maiden's Folly will be in this afternoon. She is headed towards Calastria. I'm sure it's part cargo ship, part passenger ship. I'm sure we can get you on it. I will make sure as soon as it's in to talk with her first mate and see if we can get you passage on there."
Much appreciated, Theo.
Quite no problem. Penvro, sir. I've heard tell that someone or something seems to have gotten into your rooms upstairs. We're trying to resolve the issue currently. And he's like, "Oh my gosh, things are in my room. I must go check." And he rushes upstairs. And then Theo looks at you and says, "You're welcome."
I definitely appreciate that one. And I'm going to ask, when does the ship get in today?
It should be in the next hour or two, based on what I've heard.
Sounds delightful. And I leave.
All right. You head up to your room?
Yeah.
Go somewhere else.
I'm probably gonna head out of the place and probably just I'm going to go somewhere in the kind of more populous part of town.
Okay.
And start preaching.
Okay, so you go and start doing some stuff trying to get people to flock to your cause. A few people kind of, as they walk by, kind of give you... You're that guy in the college campus that everybody kind of looks at funny, like, "Who the hell are you? What the hell are you talking about?"
Absolutely, yes.
You're crazy, dude. Especially since a lot of your stuff is about fate and destiny, and it's a little much for some of these people. They're simple, salt of the earth kind of people. After a bit, a couple of the guardsmen come by and say, "Hey, we understand. It's kind of, you kind of need to move along a little bit. Maybe find a different place. You're starting to scare a few of the people." And the guardsmen here are all wearing this kind of... They're wearing armor, like a breastplate, but the breastplate is not made of metal. It's clearly made of wood. And you've heard around town that they're actually called the Iron Guard. And you know that there's a forest here of ironwood that they use, that they have been harvesting and protecting. Hey, John, I need a cat back because we're about to start her stuff.
Sorry, what, Peter?
I'm about to start cat stuff, and she seems to...
Okay, yeah, she's messing with her stuff again. Name.
I will... I mean, I'm sorry to inconvenience you, gentlemen, with the truth. I'll move along.
We understand, but you gotta have to move along.
How much time was I able to kill?
Oh, maybe a couple hours. Like, the ship is probably... If Theo is correct, the ship is probably here.
Then yeah, I'll probably head to harbor, see
Alright.
see about the ship.
You head down to the harbor. You don't have to book passage. Like Theo said, he would do it for you.
I know he said he was going to do it for me. I wanted to take a look at it. And I don't really have
So you get down to
other
the
things
harbor
to do
and
or
you do a
help.
little bit of asking around, and you're able to find the Maiden's Folly pretty quickly. The guys on the Maiden's Folly, you guys come into Port Hope. It's mid-afternoon this time. It's not nearly as late. Like the travel down here, it was the better part of, you guys left at high tide, which was early morning, like before dawn, and got here in mid-afternoon on this particular portion of the journey. You guys are given a couple of hours shore leave, and then you guys are going to have to do night duty. Do you guys wish to do anything in Port Hope?
There's not much here.
Hylough, Marcus, Iylis, Rhux.
Well,
Not much here for me. I'm gonna stay on ship.
Okay.
yeah, I'm continuing to stay on the
Yeah,
ship
you're continuing to just try to avoid being. Okay.
until we're a little bit further from.
If I come across Iylis, I'm gonna go and hand him his two gold back and tell him to keep an eye on his stuff.
Oh, thanks, man. What's this for?
You might be missing some.
Oh,
I found it. Let's put it that way.
All right. All right. Marcus, do you go anywhere?
Yeah, I'll go on.
Okay. So you're going to go on and explore the city. You've never been to Port Hope, so this is kind of your first foray in going. You start going around the city. Praedyth, you get down to the docks, and you find the thing. As you're getting close to the thing, you see a guy with a lute on his back come off the ship and head on into the city, or off the docks and up towards the city. And you also see a dark-skinned woman kind of come down the gangplank and then take a spot on a crate next to it, kind of looking around. She kind of looks at you briefly, wry smile, and then continues just kind of whittling some piece of wood.
She looks important enough, so I'll go. I'll head up to her.
All right.
Hello there.
Hello, sir or madam. I can never tell with you gnomes.
Well, the beard's usually a good
I'm just
giveaway.
kidding with you. I can tell you're a sir. We got a gnome on the ship. Come on, you're too gullible.
It's been a while since I've been around too many jokesters,
I see.
A lot of dry company these days.
Well, you need to get out more often then.
That's the idea.
What can I do for you?
Well, I was coming to inquire about your fine ship.
My fine
This is
ship.
the,
Well, it's not my fine ship. It's the captain's fine ship. I am but the second mate. Name's Aislinn.
Ah, well, I was told that I could find passage on this ship. Was
More than likely you can. You'll need to speak with our first mate, Barsk.
I see. Well, I just
Barsk! You guys, who's ever still on the ship hears a bellow of the name Barsk. And after a moment, Praedyth, you see a rather huge, tall, green-skinned half-orc come over, and it's like, what do you want, Aislinn? She's like, passenger. All yours. And she goes back to whittling. And Barsk says to you, passenger, huh? Where you headed?
Well, I'm heading to Castria.
Yeah, that's our next port of call. It'll be 4 or 5 days, maybe 6 to get there from here. Got to get around the port of Hope or the Cape of Good Hope, and then we'll be on our way.
Well, that sounds delightful.
Let's see. It's a passage, gold piece a day. We'll provide you with some food, place to sleep.
Well, there will be a halfling down later with who will be putting passage for me and another
Gentleman.
associate.
I see. Well, we have room for maybe 5 or 6 more passengers. We're not full up. A little lighter load. We've been mostly doing cargo this run.
That sounds perfect then.
All right. Well, we are heading out on the morrow, so you guys need to push to get passage. Get it booked soon.
Okay.
And I will hopefully
Will do.
see you then.
All right.
Good luck, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna head back into town
Okay.
and probably just try and find another street corner.
All right, so you go start doing your stuff again.
Yeah.
All right, so for the rest of the day, you get moved from street corner to street corner until the evening. Marcus, you explore this city. It's nothing like Emerdol. It's much smaller. The buildings are, think of this as like a bit like Santorini. It's definitely hotter here than Emerdol. A little bit drier. So a lot more kind of white stucco kind of style with open top or with a flat tops and stuff like that. But it just doesn't feel quite the same. Over the course of the day, you do find you find Pot's Landing, which is the inn / tavern that's near the docks. But there's a couple other bars. So that night you can try to ply your hand at maybe trying to do a little bit of music or not, if you wish.
Yeah, I will definitely go and do I have performance?
Yeah, I've just been. I mean, you're a bard. I just
Okay.
roll every so often to
Yeah,
say here's
I'll
how much
go
you get.
buy a few drinks. Actually, I'll limit half of what I want because I want to listen to rumors and I'm going to use buy people drinks to
All right.
make friends.
So over the course of the day / night, you hear a couple things. The following things are the things that pique your interest. There's the typical stuff, but these are the things that pique your interest. One, you overhear some what clearly must be off-duty guards. First of all, you learn that the guard's name is called the Iron Guard. Second of all, you learn that somehow some of the ironwood armor has gone missing. Somebody's stolen it. Not sure who, not sure how, but somebody has. And they're pretty tight on some of the stuff there. That's the first kind of thing that you hear that's kind of interesting. Like who could have gotten that? Second, you hear a particular, clearly a merchant who's traveled here seems kind of a little bit upset. It seems that he was boarded by some ruffians, as he puts it, and was forced to pay a small ransom so that he could then get in a dinghy and row himself to the nearest port. Clearly somebody hijacked a ship. Or at least the ship that he was on. And so he is very upset about all of this. And if he hadn't had his manservant with him, could have gone much worse.
Is his manservant still there with him?
Yeah,
now?
you can see his manservant is a Malazan. And you can also see that Malazan has sort of like a silver collar on. Clearly he's one of the slaved versions. Right. This Malazan, though, is different than Rhux. This Malazan is looks to be like a Naga Malazan, so snakehead.
Snake.
Okay. All right, so that's the second one. The third thing that you hear of, and this one seems to be kind of like this one happens late in the day. So like a couple of them you hear just during day drinking. This one happens late in the day. Somebody comes in and basically says, "Hey," to somebody nearby, says, "Hey, did you hear about did you hear about that strange, gruesome murder?" And he goes on to start describing. They found this old voodoo lady strung up in her house, her disemboweled, and some strange carving carved all over her. It was just, from what I hear, it was totally gruesome. Who knows what happened there? It sounds crazy, doesn't it? And the guy's like, "Well, she was a voodoo woman, so maybe something came back to haunt her. Who knows?" So that's the last of the three things that pique your interest that you've heard.
You say she was a hoodoo woman, like a magic user?
Voodoo woman.
Voodoo. Okay.
Yeah.
So they're starting the assassinations.
No, who knows?
Oh, it could be. Yeah, it could actually be she screwed up a spell.
It could be something else. Who knows? But yeah, those are the things you hear. Is Kat gonna be back in a second? Because I'm now ready to start her thing.
Yeah, hang on a second.
All right, so Praedyth, you get back to your room. John, you start to or Marcus, you start to do some of your singing. And now we'll come to Kat.
She's logging in.
Who's currently missing.
She can't. Her computer ran out of power and she can't get her name off the thing. We'll have to do that afterwards. Off the Zoom.
Charge that computer before the game, I guess. Okay, Kat. It is your turn. You ready?
Okay.
All right, you ready for this?
All right.
The feeling of dread wouldn't stop. You had entered the small cottage moments before. The room had shelves of bottles and jars with a variety of different substances, strange things, eye of newt, these sorts of things. Clearly something, someone who knows some magical things. But it wasn't that had caught your attention. It was the woman nailed to the wall with her entrails in a heap on the floor before her, and the strange black spiral symbol cut into her midsection that had captured your full attention. The feeling of dread persisted. The sunlight streaming through the window slowly dimmed as darkness flowed from the woman's open mouth as if she was screaming, but with no sound. And it fills the cottage interior. Looking around, you can see nothing, and the feeling of dread intensifies. You put your hand in front of your face. You cannot see it. This must be a dream. A voice, which is not your own, whispers in your mind. The feeling of dread becomes almost overwhelming. You watch in horror as fields of colorful, strange energy pulse from the now visible body. Strange pseudopods grow rapidly forth around the sliced open stomach and inside the woman's split open womb. A strange eye stares out unblinking, a window into an eternity of madness. You wake with a start. Your head is just got a splitting headache. You sit up from the bed and you look around the small room you're in. It is clearly some kind of run-down dockside inn room of some sort. You're not sure where it is, and in fact, you're not even sure how you got here. Looking around the room, you notice that there's a bit of dried blood on the pillow behind you. And next to your feet, or next to the bedside, you see a backpack, clearly put together as if ready to leave at a moment's notice. On a small table next to you, you see a folded piece of parchment with the name Dresd'a on it. And it's at that point you realize, what's my name? What do you do?
Do I remember anything from that dream?
The what I've told you about the dream is sort of fading from your memory, but you do remember some of it. Yes, some of what I've just...
I really quickly draw the spiral sigil that I saw.
Okay. The closest thing you have is the parchment that's at hand that was on the desk with with the name on it.
Okay.
So you kind of draw it on that piece of parchment. Kind of opening up that parchment at the same time, you see that there's writing inside of it.
Okay, I read the note.
Okay, the note says, I hope this finds you in good health and safety on your journey. Rafa shows me signs of the gathering storm almost nightly now. Time seems to be running out. You must find the pieces before Al-Rasul does. May Rafa guide you on your journey. And the note is signed Fayala. None of these names mean anything to you.
Okay, does it give a destination or anything like that?
It does not, but as you're kind of pondering what it says, there's a loud knock at the door.
It's open.
I
think.
So the door, you hear whoever it is on the other side say, he kind of, the door knob rattled and says, it's not open, miss.
I go and I look. I open the door and
Okay,
look.
it definitely was locked. You open it up and you kind of look, and then you look down, and there's a halfling standing in front of you. He says, Miss Dresd'a, I was wondering if you were awake. You're going to miss your ship if you don't hurry.
What ship was that?
The one you asked me to book passage on, the Maiden's Folly. It leaves within the hour.
Okay, let me grab my stuff.
Are
real
you
quick.
okay?
Oh, I got a bit of a headache.
Well, I can see why. You've got a huge knot on the side of your head, miss.
Huh. I must have knocked my noggin.
All
right, let me grab my stuff so we
okay.
can get going.
So you head over to get your
me?
stuff, and you happen to notice that there's a mirror over there, and you can see there's matted blood in your hair, and there's a big, huge bump on your head.
Oh, man.
You also notice one other thing, which you're not sure why he didn't notice it. There is a scar around your neck.
Huh. Interesting.
Again, you don't know how that got there. You're not even sure what it means. But he didn't mention it.
All right, then. I'll grab up my stuff.
Okay.
Does any of it feel familiar, like the weight of it or anything? Or
give me an insight check.
insight. No.
It something about it feels somewhat familiar, but you're not sure if the weight is quite right or not.
Okay, well, I'm gonna pack up my stuff that I noticed is there.
Yeah, I
and-
mean, everything seems to be packed in there. You look around the room and nothing else seems to be like, everything else seems to be like the normal the normal room in kind of stuff. But nothing else seems like it might be yours, other than that piece of paper, but you've already taken that. Especially now that he's called you Dresd'a.
I look real quick at the sigil I drew once again.
It's basically just a spiral.
Does it seem familiar to me?
It does not.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna follow the little halfling to the boat.
All right. Well, he said you have an hour. It leaves within the hour, so.
Okay, well, I'm headed to the boat.
All right. You head downstairs. Getting downstairs, you see a man in some fineries, along with a gnome, kind of discussing something. And Theo says, Miss Dresd'a, if you wish, these two gentlemen, Penvro Tiberian and Praedyth Curia, thank you, are also going to be taking the same ship. You could certainly go with them.
That works out. Hey, you got anything for a headache back there?
Did I hear that him announcing our names as we were walking up?
Well, you're sitting at a table, so yes.
Oh, then I will chime in from the Reverend Praedyth Curia.
He's a reverend of some sort. I don't know what the word means, but that's what he says he is.
Okay.
So for everybody else's edification, for who's down here, this is who you kind of see come down. However, she's got a big bump on her head with some matted blood in her hair.
Those horns.
Okay.
Those aren't horns.
It's like her.
She actually
her
gold.
circlet thing or whatever.
She is sort of a palish gold, yes, bronzish, yes, and the eyes are definitely a little odd.
Yeah. Gee, weird.
For everybody else, it's the next day. Marcus, you were able to get a little bit of money. In this case, you were able to get 5 more silver. Decent enough for this particular place, given what it's like. Most of you did night duty. Hylough and Marcus, you did night duty. Praedyth, you were able to avoid Penvro the rest of the day.
Yay!
Yeah. So Dresd'a, these two are supposedly going to the same ship. But you ask if he has anything. He gestures you over. Theo gestures you over and says, maybe not, but here. And he gives you a little bowl and he pours some water in. It says, and then he gives you sort of, it's a relatively clean towelish thing. Might want to wipe it up a little bit if you can.
Okay, so I go about cleaning myself up.
Yeah, the water is somewhat cool, so you're able. That feels a little bit better on your thing. And he said, as he's chatting with you, or as you're doing that, he says, "Were you able to find the person you were looking for?"
Who was I looking for again?
I think you were looking for Masaurus, I think is the name you gave me.
I don't recall that I found him.
Okay. I'm sorry you were unable to find them.
I think I ran out of time.
Fair enough. Well, lots of things going on these days. Well, I hope you'll be able to make it back here again at some point soon.
Did I have time to write down his name as I'm walking as he goes away?
Who? As Theo goes
The guy
away?
I was looking for.
What do you mean? I guess I don't understand what you're asking.
So the guy asked me if I found who I was looking for.
Oh, you want to write that down?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not like you can't remember anything before your dream, but you definitely remember the name he just mentioned to you.
Okay.
It's not like you have short-term. You're having problems forming new memories. It's just you can't remember anything before you woke up to that dream from that dream, and you can't remember anything before that. Okay. And in fact, your name was missing until people started calling you it.
Yeah.
So yes, you remember the name Masaurus, and I will get that to you on some stuff.
Okay.
After a little bit, you kind of clean yourself off. You feel a little bit better, not great, but you feel a little bit better.
You're right, man.
And you guys, and then at that point, Penvro, Praedyth, and Dresd'a, a smaller halfling, clearly the Theo's son, says, "All right, let's go. I'll take you down there." And you guys start heading down towards the docks.
Lead the way.
All right. He takes you down. It's not too far to the dock where the Maiden's Folly is. You guys get to the dock, and as you come up there, you can see again this big, huge half orc wearing sort of a vest kind of thing, and he kind of looks and it's like, "Hello, good to see you all. Let's see, if I'm not mistaken, you were the gnome from yesterday."
That would be me.
We have you downstairs. Go down one set. You'll be one of the cabins down there. You were, I believe the instructions were need something better than normal. He's talking to Penvro clearly, and Penvro's like, "Yes,
right for
yes,
him.
of course. I need something that will hold all of my retinue here." And you can see he's come down with himself plus what look to be 2 Malazan slaves. In this case, these 2 they don't look like Rhux. They don't look like the Naga that you saw, Marcus. They look slightly different again. And they seem to be very meek, and they're basically carrying between them a trunk. "Yes, I must have room for all of them." And Burris kind of looks at it like, "Oh, we've got you up in the front here on the other side. The one's already taken, but you get the other one." And you miss, Theo said something about you were a late edition, but that's okay. Downstairs we got you in one of the one near the front of the ship, near the back of the ship. I'm sorry. We'll get and then he says, "Rat, could you please take this gentleman?" He's pointing to Penvro to his room. "Marcus, I need you to take this woman down to her spot, and Hylough, could you please take a look at this fine young?" He kind of winks a little bit at Praedyth. "Fine young gnome here."
Oh, I appreciate being called young.
And we will again get underway. We need to get moving quickly with the tide here. Our navigator seems to think a storm is coming soon. And you hear from the back, he's like, "Yeah, man, there's definitely a storm coming. Definitely
Storm is coming." And what is his name?
He feels it in his bones, does he?
No, I don't feel it in my bones. I had a little bit to drink last night, and it just didn't agree with me, which means there's a storm coming.
Some would say the storm's already here.
I'm glad to get off this island.
Wait,
Did you know there's only
wait.
21 trees on this entire island, and they're all huge? Ready to move on.
So,
Let's go.
Hylough, you take Praedyth down to a cabin, and we switch to Maiden's Folly.
Oh,
And I gotta get some people's tokens in the scene. Sorry.
Can't see a thing.
No, you're right. You can't. I'm trying to decide if I want to start the next bit or not.
I got the spells up, by the way.
Okay, cool. I'm going to put you back here. So you guys get set into the ship, and in less than 30 minutes, the ship starts sailing south out of Port Hope.
What about me?
Oh, right. What about you? I forgot about you. I thought I was thinking about your thing. I totally forgot. I thought you were part of the...
guys, you left me behind.
No.
Wait.
Yep, Cole's not part of the adventure anymore. He missed the boat.
No, he didn't miss the boat. Yesterday, when you got back, you would have heard them talking about the Maiden's Folly, and would have been able to go down and book passage, and probably just got on right away. So you're already there.
I mean, I wanted to ask the captain a question.
You were actually initially unable to. Oh, well, actually, yeah. Let's go back to that then. I'm sorry, that was my mistake. I totally forgot about it. You get down there and you meet the first mate, and Barsk is like, "Yeah, we're the Maiden's Folly. What do you need?"
I would like to ask your captain a question.
She doesn't talk to too many people. You got a name?
What do you mean by
You
that?
have a name.
You have a name.
What's your name?
Oh, my name. The name is Aaron Bear.
Never heard of you. I highly doubt she's heard of you.
No, but she might have heard of somebody important.
Sure, she's heard of a lot of important people. Anybody in particular?
A man who is my father. I was told
Whose
he
name
sailed
you've
here.
Again already, I'm sure.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know I was gonna say his name. His name. I was gonna. He sailed around in the Maiden Folly. He sailed on the Maiden's Folly as the second mate around 10 years ago.
Oh, well, then I can tell you she's not going to know anything about him. She bought the ship about 5 years ago.
Well, there goes your get in pass.
Yeah.
But she did buy it from... What did you say his name was? What did you say his name was?
My father's name?
Yeah.
But he didn't say.
Oh, I haven't said it yet, but I can say it.
Dude.
Bale Kinzal.
Bale Kinzal. That name's familiar. I wonder if he was the previous captain. All right, let's go talk to her. And he takes you up and takes you to the back of the ship. And he opens up the captain's thing. He says, "Captain, someone has a question for you. I don't have an answer. This is one of the few times where I think maybe you might have the answer, possibly. You remember a guy named Bale Kinzal?" And she kind of looks up for a moment, and she's like, "The name is familiar to me, yes." "Well, supposedly this is his kid, maybe? Is that what you were saying?"
He is my father, yes.
I see. Come in. Have a seat. Thank you, Barsk. Sorry. Thank you, Barsk. I'll take it from here. And he's like, "Aye."
What is it? Afternoon, evening?
It's late afternoon at this point. By the
Good
time you get
afternoon,
back.
Captain.
I have to check.
My name is Aaron Bear, and I was hoping to ask you if you ever knew my father.
The name's familiar to me. He was the captain of the ship for me. I was his first mate briefly for about 3 months or so, before he decided to end the life of the sailing life. Sold me the ship. Sold me for a good price too, no less. And had me put him ashore at Emerdol.
Emerdine.
No, Emerdol.
Whatever. Emerdol. Well, Captain.
That was about five or so years ago, something of that nature. Somewhere around that time. I highly doubt he's still at Emerdol, but that's probably the best I can do for you.
Well, Captain, first of all, thank you for your information, and I'm afraid I have one more thing to ask of you. I would require passage to Emerdol.
Can do that. I will ask a bit of work from you, but I can do that.
I will, of course, do any work you ask.
Have Barsk find you a spot. It'll probably be a bunk downstairs, and you will report to night duty this evening.
Of course, Captain.
In this case, we'll probably just have you guarding the ship, but that's enough for now.
Guard duty is what I'd be best at.
Good day to you. See Barsk.
Good day to you, too, Captain. And I walk out.
I will give you a couple other things. While you're talking to her, give me a perception check, because you're kind of talking with her.
Perception. Here we go. Here it is. Oh, let it be that. Yes!
All right. You notice that on the table before her is a map of the Sea of Tears. And you notice that there is, besides just the ports, Kirmagal, Windsmar, Port Hope, you can also see that Calastria is marked on the map. You can see Emerdol is marked on the map. There are also some spots that are just marked with X's on some islands that you don't see on this particular map because they're smaller. So there's some X's in various places on the map. Not sure what that means.
I mean, I have a guess.
The last thing that you notice is that in the middle of this clearly blank spot in the sea, there is a label called Flotsam.
Flotsam?
All it says is Flotsam.
Flotsam.
Which is kind of odd because why would there? I mean, it's just in the middle of nowhere. Why would there be a label called Flotsam in the middle of nowhere on this map?
Well, a wrecked ship. Who knows?
Who knows? But and it's definitely in this area of the sea. So that's the other thing.
Would you say in the middle of that little trio island area?
No, it's around in here somewhere.
Like here?
Maybe somewhere around there.
Okay.
The last thing you notice, the other thing you notice with the 21, is that one of the things that's sitting on the desk behind her is clearly made from a piece of an eld tree. It's like a little statue, been carved, and it's clearly made from a piece of the eld tree, not the eld tree, but of an eld tree.
Now, how does that make me feel?
I mean, parts of the eld tree fall off all the time, and people make stuff from it. It's not like it doesn't look like.
We'll not jump to conclusions.
I'm just saying, there's clearly a small little wooden carving behind her that is, you're 100% sure is made from a piece of an eld tree.
Aaron won't jump to conclusions.
So, you then head on out and go talk to Barsk, and he finds you a bunk. And we now move on to the next day, and the ship sets sail from Port Hope, and we will start there next time.
Yeah.
All right.
Hopefully I remember my character voice.
Yeah, it's a third.
You don't choose, so it's a little.
Well, good role playing.
Ah.